right. Excuse me. All right. What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Shout outs. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. My name is OJ. Once again, we are here to talk about video games, and probably some other stuff too. Shout outs though, guys. Appreciate you guys showing up. Big love to Jason DeFoxy guy, man, at 9-1 with the subscription. I appreciate that. I'll go ahead and replay that. He subscribed about 7 minutes ago before we started, but thank you, man. I appreciate that. General Zamora with the dono before the stream even started says that heartbreaking fumble hit that man like Captain Falcon. Did you see the replay on that one? Hit him like Captain Falcon. You know?
OJ, are you getting Sonic CrossWorlds? Tears of Joy lol. Also, I'm back into shiny hunting. Already got 5.
Nice. Am I getting Sonic? I mean, I'll probably pick it up at some point. I don't know like exactly when. I want the Switch 2 version for sure, but I'll pick. I don't know if I want to spend 70 on it. But I'll definitely pick it up at some point for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Also, big love to Dane Gonzalez. Thank you so much, Dane, with the $3 dono. And he says, Hades 2 keeps getting better. Winged Apprentice. Yes, I got you. Justin, though, is the stream ninja. Shout outs to Justin. Thank you for the big 3. Anybody does 3 or more, you can put man Justin on the board. Both boards. Shout outs to General Zamora and also Dane. Thank you guys so much, man. $4 going in there. So we already got a nice combo going. 7 total. So thank you guys so much. We have full combo rewards and effects today. It's going to be a great night. I can feel it. JoJo Friday in the house. So I'm ready to talk about video games and discuss gaming with you guys. And all sorts of stuff. But yeah, you guys got to watch the play of the game, or one of the plays of the game from the 49ers game last night as I was on pins and needles was this man Collins hit this guy across the face at the 1-yard line. He was about to score, and he literally got Falcon punched. Literally took his, maybe we'll watch it, took his arm back and Falcon punched him and punched straight through and hit the ball on the 1-yard line. Literally hit him with the Black Falcon punch. Like, I think you guys think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. He literally hit this man with the Falcon punch. Like, hit him with the Falcon punch. It was crazy. Also, big love to Shaw XXX. Yo, break it down. Yo, JoJo Friday, mother of all surprise. Yo, we out here. Thank you for the big 20. I appreciate that. And Justin with the $1 as well. Since I dropped Sonic CrossWorlds, the fans are ruining it for me. I got Galaxy 2 and Pokemon anyways. Yeah, maybe. Sometimes the fans can affect things a little bit more than they think. I might have a video talking about that. But thank you for that, guys. We got the first Justin coming through. Shot X with the big 20. Yo, we out here. First overclock.
Overclock buster.
Also, Dane Gonzalez. Yes, sir. Thank you for that, too. Big overclock going. We out here tonight. Let's go. Shaw X, you are now the new Hokage and Stream Ninja. Anybody that does 20 or more, you can put my man Shaw X on the board. And you guys know, every 10 and up for JoJo Friday, we got to play the JoJo animation. So we're going to get that going, too. Big love, guys. Thank you so much, Mr. Shaw X. Thank you for the big 20. My man said he's ready. We out here. And 2 away from a 30-minute extension on tonight's stream as well. Let's go. So we got to get that going. Shout outs. Let's go. JoJo Friday in the house. Also, Winged Apprentice in the house. Remember, if you drop a dono, make sure you put your music request in your message. And if you can't fit it, that's okay. You can just put it in the chat, and I will play it for you as soon as I can. Winged Apprentice. All right. Thank you so much, Dane. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, Shaw X, with the big 20. If you want some music, Shaw X, let me know. And I got you, of course. Let me get these JoJos up on the board. We're at 41 on the streak. We're almost at our 51 platinum streak. We're going to have a marathon stream when we do hit that. So let's go. Party Man, what's up, man? What up, Party Man? Shout outs. What's up, Epic Globster? What's up, 7770707? Adam Carson with the 2 says, let's hear it for JoJo Friday. Yes, sir. Thank you for the 2 getting us to 30. Numero dos on the extensions. We are out here tonight, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that. Lego. Another Noah
Overclock Buster!
What's up, Psycho Pie? What's up, Astros Off the Chain? What is up, Christian Smithers? What is up, the cool guy? What is up? What's up, Brandon Johnson? What's up, Alonzo Vines? Yeah, man, crazy 49ers win. Literally, like, no cap. 49ers did not have their number 1, number 2, number 3, number 1 tight end. Like, literally, they did not have all of their receiving corps. All of their guys that make the plays, that have been making the plays over the last couple years, they did not have any of them. They had CMC, though. They had CMC, and they had Kendrick Bourne. CMC and Kendrick Bourne were the offense, and Mac Jones, Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy Jones, man. It was a great game, dude. It was one of the best games I've ever watched, from a regular season game at least, you know. Mac Daddy. Oh man, that was crazy. I was very excited. Shout outs though. Mac Jones played it. Yeah, oh yeah, very gutsy performance. Gutsy performance from Mac Daddy. From Mac Jones, definitely guts, which I love the signing. When they signed him, I'm like, that's good. Like, I love the Sam Darnold signing a couple of years ago. I love the Mac Jones signing. Like, if you can get a former high round draft pick that can throw the ball in Shanahan's system, he's as good as gold, man. So I knew that was one of the things that the Niners needed. The Niners need a backup quarterback because Brock Purdy always gets hurt. So, like, the Niners needed a backup quarterback. Sky Guys Quest, thank you for the 21 months. I appreciate that, Sky Guys Quest. What is good? Young replaced Montana and shocked the world with his incredible performance. Yeah, that's true. Brock Purdy replaced, you know, Jimmy G and Trey Lance and shocked the world. So sometimes that's kind of how it goes, you know. But Mac's been playing good all year. That's not his first win. He's a 3-0 at this point. So he had 2 other good wins where he threw for a lot of yards as well. So he's been doing it. He's been doing it, you know, all year so far. Whenever he's got the opportunity. What's up, Jax G? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? What is good? What's up, Old Maddendorf? What is good? Yeah, backup QB. That's why they pay them so much. Mac Jones got what, a 2 years, $7 million deal. So, you know, cool, 3.5 million per year. You know, it's not bad. You know, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, but I mean, it's crazy that Mac signed a 2-year deal. I mean, usually what you do is you sign a 1-year deal. You know, and then when a quarterback spot opens up, you know, if you do good enough that the coaches say good things about you, you can get a big deal. You can bump that up like Sam Darnold did. Sam Darnold did a 1-year deal with the Niners for like $4 million or $5 million, and then he signed a $10 million deal. He barely even played for the Niners a couple years ago, but then he signed a $10 million deal with the Vikings. Then he had a breakout year with the Vikings. Then he signed a big money deal with the Seahawks. So, I mean, that's usually what you do is you sign like a 1-year deal, but Mac Jones took a 2-year deal. So I'm like, ooh, good. We got him next year too. Unless somebody wants to trade for him, then we can get some draft, maybe get a 2nd round pick, get a 3rd round pick for him. Okay, that'll be worth it. But yeah, good deal by John Lynch. Let's see here. If only the Rams let Jimmy G play, they would have won. I know. If only Jimmy G played, dude. Actually, Stafford was dealing that night, dude. Stafford was freaking shredding the Niners, like absolutely shredding them. Their defense was getting cooked through the air. It was not good. Just started my first day on the job training at Burlington. Now I'm an intern. Hey, there you go, Brandon Johnson. Hey, shout outs. Congratulations on that, brother. What's up, Kinesis? Welcome to the stream. Imagine he replaced Brock Purdy for good and demoted to QB2. That's not happening. They're paying Brock Purdy $260 million. Brock Purdy, I think, is due $90 million next year or the year after. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, that's not happening. As long as Brock is healthy, he's going to be the starter. Unless it's like, once the guarantees are done in his contract, like in 2 or 3 years, but who knows what the Niners are going to draft by then. Who knows where Mac Jones will be, you know, like, they're not, Brock Purdy's the starter. You can't replace that type of money. I mean, no, it's not happening. So yeah, they'll be lucky to keep him after next year, if they can. So yeah, man. Anyway, let's get into some of the gaming stuff, shall we? I think we should get into some of the gaming stuff tonight. Appreciate that. And also, 15 combos away from a 45-minute extension on tonight's stream for JoJo Friday. Let's go. Let's talk about the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, because I found this to be pretty interesting. I don't think that it's a total flop overall when it comes to the sales here in the US or when it comes to the Steam sales. I actually think it's probably doing okay to pretty good overall. But in Japan, that's where this comes from. It's only one region. And it basically goes over the sales. Now, I know that we talked about it the other day, but now we have the full charts, the top 30, and we saw what the PS5 version sold. And once again, this is just retail. That doesn't include the digital deluxe editions that Sonic fans are buying. I do think this game is going to do decently, but I do think that there was some type of sentiment from people that this game could outsell or do as good as Mario Kart World, and I think that that has pretty much been shattered at this point as we've gotten multiple different sales ranges. We've seen Steam DB, you know, we've kind of seen some stuff just to kind of see like where this is at. And, you know, in Japan, it sold about 7,000, 8,000 units. Retail, no digital, when it comes down to that, which is pretty low even for not accounting for digital. And then in the UK, we also saw that it was beneath Mario Kart World, which we know that Mario Kart World's selling decently in the UK, but the UK is just one small slice of the bigger, I guess, I don't know if they're part of Europe anymore or not, whatever, that area, Europe. So it's just one smaller slice of that area. I think that we really have to kind of wait and see for what Sega says and what the US MPD says. Like, I think that if the US MPD has it up at a good spot and we can kind of gauge where it's at, then we can say, okay, it's doing all right. But I think that any type of talk of it doing anywhere near, you know, Mario Kart World should probably be quelled at this point, considering Mario Kart World is sold, you know, multiple millions, you know, in Japan, and it didn't even outsell it, even though Mario Kart World's been out for weeks. So Mario Kart World, I think, sold 35,000 units in Japan this past week, as a game that's, you know, a number of months old, whereas Sonic Racing CrossWorlds on Switch 1 didn't even hit 6,000 units sold. So I think that Switch 2 version obviously will help. I think that people will probably pick it up on discount. I think on Steam DB, the all-time high was around 13,000. Now, there are some people, I think Fidel made a video talk about how it was a huge success, and I think he talked about some of the stuff, looking at, gosh, somebody linked it to me and I forgot exactly what it was, but looking at how a game did on pre-orders or something on Steam, or compared to Sonic Superstars and something like that. So, I mean, I didn't see all the Fidel video, but yeah, like I said, I hope it does well. Like, honestly, I hope it does really well. I mean, we need competition in the kart racing genre. But I think that I do think this is one thing that I do think, and I might make a video on this, I might not. Or maybe I'll just make a short on it, or I'll do something on it. Maybe I'll make one right now. So here's what I'll say about Sonic Racing, or here's what I'll say about Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I think that, personally, just me, I think that the fans kind of drove some people away from buying the game. Now, I'm not going to say that was the only reason why I didn't pick it up, but I think that Sega making that commercial, I thought it was a brilliant commercial. I thought it was funny, the whole, you know, reincarnating the, remaking the whole Super Nintendo, Mario Kart, and Sega Blast processing and all that. I thought it was funny, but I think it kind of pushed away some people from probably buying the game. Just because, like I said, you look at the results in Japan, you look at the fact that it's multi-platform, and I thought maybe it'd have a bigger Steam, you know, launch, maybe like 50, 60, 70K people playing it, and that's not happening. So I'm not sure. I think that maybe some of the fans and how annoying they were at times when it comes to the whole thing and spamming the picture, I think it kind of drove maybe some people away from buying the game that would have bought the game if they would have just said, hey, look, this is a cool game, the more the merrier, you know. But I don't know. Like I said, that's just me speculating on it based off of what I've seen a little bit here. It also launched in a pretty stacked month. There's a lot of games that have came out in September, a lot of games coming out now. Digimon just came out, and that has over 70,000 or something like that on the Steam. So a lot of people are playing that right now too. So I think that there's also that factor as well. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. It's a Sonic game. There's always a flop. That's always a flop. Well, no. I mean, Sonic Frontiers did pretty good after some discounts and stuff. So, I've seen so many YouTube troll accounts saying that Sonic was going to do better than World. Then I knew it won't based on the other Sonic racing game sales. Yeah, that could be it. It's crazy anyone would think a kart racer is gonna get anywhere near Mario Kart. Yeah, Mario Kart was like the originator of the kart racer, you know, so it's tough to do that. Lingering Will with the $7 holla. Yo, shout outs to my man Lingering Will. It says Japan hates Xbox and blue hedgehogs. Those are the two things you can count on, like, what is it? Taxes, death, and hating of Sonic blue hedgehogs in Japan. Let's go. Thank you so much. Yo, 35 on the combo board. Let's go. Very close. Only 10 combos away from a 45-minute extension tonight. Thank you so much, Lingering Will, with the big dono coming through. Digimon at 45K on Steam. Was it 45K? I thought that it was a 70, up to 70K. Steam, DB, Digimon, Steam. Let's check. Let's double check. Because I'm almost positive I saw 70K. Digimon, Time Stranger. Yeah, it's at 47,000 players right now. So around launch day, so a lot of people are playing the game. But it's at 70,000 all-time peak about 8 hours ago. So people trying it out, then maybe having to go to work or sleep or whatever the case is. But people are enjoying it. But it's at almost at 71,000. 70,964 all-time peak 8 hours ago. 24-hour peak, same thing. So, yeah. Definitely higher than Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, for sure. Find it funny how Sonic fans taking IGN ratings seriously now. Yeah. The way I look at it, Mario Kart always sets the standard and everyone tries to catch up. CrossWorlds looks like a wannabe Mario Kart 8 at best. The funny thing is that they couldn't get it running they couldn't get the tech to be running at 60 FPS on the Nintendo Switch 1, despite Mario Kart 8 looking better than the Switch 1 version of Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, and of course running at 60 frames per second. So I think that was a little bit of a misstep too. Yo, what's up, Bad Set? Great afternoon, OJ. Hope all is well with the Ninja Village. How you doing? I'm doing good, man. How are you? I didn't get Sonic because I was waiting for Kirby Air Riders and getting Z8. Yeah, there you go. Other people just picking up other games as well. I wish the Digimon game was on Switch 2. It's gonna come to Switch 2. There was a leaked what was it? There was a leaked listing for the game. The game runs at 30 frames per second on the PlayStation 5, so optimization needs to be a thing unless you want to get Digimon running at 7 frames per second on Switch 2. So they definitely need some more time to optimize because they didn't even get a 60 FPS mode at launch on PS5, which is, I mean, the game looks good, but I mean, there's no reason why a Digimon game shouldn't be running at 60 FPS on a PS5. That's crazy. It's probably a combination of there being tons of options for games right now, and it'll be cheaper later on. Yep, I agree with that too. There are a lot of good games out now, and people just waiting to see the price drops before picking up the game. Let's see. Well, maybe Digimon doesn't need Switch after all. I think, like I said, I told you before, I thought it was going to do well. It's Digimon. So, I mean, will it do better with the Switch 2? Of course, because I don't think PlayStation 5 owners are buying Digimon like that. I mean, PC seems to be doing well, but I'm not sure if it's going to be some type of massive seller, and definitely not going to be a massive seller on Xbox. So I think that it still doesn't necessarily need it 100%, but I mean, the name of it is to make money. So if you want to make money, then obviously a Switch 2 version would be good. But it wasn't DOA, like, you know, some people were trying to say it's just gonna be like DOA. It's like, nah, it's not gonna be DOA. Hey, what's up, Mr. Davis? I can see your comments, dude. What's good? Welcome. Have you been able to log any more hours into your games? I did play some Trails in the Sky today. I probably logged about another hour or so today. I think I logged a little bit last night. But I couldn't focus because I was watching the game. So been able to play a little bit. I barely get any time to play games each day. So I try to get at least an hour in per day. My Party Man Cartwheel with the $5 Ninja
mind
Beach.
the rivalry and competition, but TBH people went a little too crazy with the comparisons and saying Sonic completely destroys MK World.
Yeah.
Opinions, of course. Also, people like myself are probably waiting for discounts. The game is good though.
Yeah, I think that's really, it's a combination of like people waiting for discounts and like a lot of other games coming out, and then some people just get kind of off put by like the fans. Like for me at least, I know I was just kind of like, these fans are acting kind of crazy. Like I can't even look at a post of Mario Kart World without them acting wild. In my opinion, you should be inviting to Mario Kart World players because there's a huge base there. You should say, hey man, if you like Mario Kart World, you should definitely check out this. Like I think that, like I said, I think that Sega's marketing kind of egged that on. And I think that it was a bad idea. I don't think it was a good idea to do that. Financially, looking back, I don't think it was a good idea. It's kind of like poking the bear. But, you know, it was a fun ad. I thought it was a cool ad. I didn't dislike it. I'm just saying, I don't know if it was a good idea. Now looking back at looking at the Japanese sales, like if a lot of, you know, Japanese people think a little bit differently than how we think over here. You know, I'm not sure if they took too kindly to that. Look at the reaction to what the Pal World lawsuit in Japan compared to the US, and look at how literally like so many people are on Nintendo's side for that one compared to here, where it's like, no, they're on Pocket Pair's side, right? So I'm not sure if the Japanese audience took too kindly to those type of things. So I'm not sure. We'll see though. Who's worse at optimization? Bandai Namco versus Koei Tecmo. The battle continues. Man, I don't know. Well, Koei Tecmo has a 60 FPS Hyrule Warriors game coming out compared to the 30 FPS Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So I'm gonna pick Koei Tecmo for right now. So Koei Tecmo is gonna win the recency bias. Shout outs to Lingering Will. Thank you for another $5 dono. 45 on the board. You guys know what time, or you know what that means. Let's go. Combo break and Noah overclock.
Overclock Buster!
Let me press the button, make sure it plays.
Overclock Buster!
Let's go. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. 45-minute extension locked up for tonight. Another 15 combos, 1 hour. Then we're going.
Even further
Then beyond. Trying to get to the 100 combo breaker and 42 platinum streak. Let's go. Shout outs Lingering Will. Thank you for another dono, man. I appreciate you, fam. Japan doesn't like that type of marketing. Yeah, I'm not sure if they do, you know. Let's see. I'm waiting for Black Friday to get the B tier games like Digimon. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would like a 60 FPS patch for that. So I'm kind of waiting to see if they do that. You know, 60 FPS patch for Digimon. But I've never really been a big Digimon fan, to be honest. I don't think I've even watched that many episodes of it. So, do you think Nintendo will ever discover anti-aliasing? No, because it doesn't really matter. Most people don't care and don't even know what it is. So I don't think it's going to be a priority for them. Because when you play the game, it doesn't matter for the most part. Let's see here. CrossWorlds is pretty fun. It's a pretty solid game with fun single player and multiplayer content, especially if you get the game at a discount. Oh yeah, nobody's doubting that the game is good. Nobody's doubting that. We were just talking about, like I said, I'm not sure if the right move was to antagonize a base of fans that you can sell the game to. You know, like I don't know if it should have been like a hey, work with me, not against me type of thing. That's all I'm trying to say. Like I don't know if the marketing worked like 100%, because once again, you're looking at the Steam sales. You know, you're looking at like where are the consumers going to come from? Outside of Mario Kart, nobody actually buys kart racing games. Kart racing games aren't some type of big genre where people are making tons of money like Nintendo is with Mario Kart. So where are the fans going to come from? Well, they're going to come from people who play Mario Kart. So like, I'm not sure if antagonizing those people is the best way to get people to play it, you know, or to get people to jump on. Like I said, it was a cool ad. I think it was great. I think the game's solid, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure about that marketing campaign, you know. But like I said, we'll see how it works out. Shout outs to Lingering or Evelyn's World. Thank you for the Ambu tier pledge. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the Ambu tier pledge. Upgraded to Ambu tier. Let's go. We're gonna get some combos for that. Upgrading to Ambu tier. Remember, if you want to become an elite ninja, exclamation mark member, just type that in, exclamation mark member, all lowercase. You can join up. It's only $1. But Evelyn's World was very nice and upgraded to the Ambu tier. So we're definitely gonna get a few points for that as well. Let's go. Let's go ahead and get 5 points on that one. Thank you so much, Evelyn's World. I appreciate you. So yeah. The only reason Age of Imprisonment is 60 is because Nintendo, not Koei Tecmo. I mean, I don't know about that, man, because remember, Age of Calamity was like in like 20-something frames. Age of Calamity was like in 20 or 30. Dude, that was like in 20 for sometimes even lower. So I think it's essentially because it was a Switch 1 game at first. They were building it off of the same engine, obviously, as, you know, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. And they got a big boost in power, so they were able to bump it to 60. I mean, that's really, because, I mean, it looks similar to Age of Calamity, obviously, but resolution and graphics, resolution and frame rate got a massive bump, you know, massive bump in resolution and frame rate. So, so yeah. Hey, what's up, Game God? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Thank you. Yes, make sure you guys hit the like button. If you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. 10 combos away. We are out here. Combo breaks. I appreciate you guys. Hey, what's up, The Great Wall? Welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing today? What's up, Mr. L? What's up, Orlando Ramos? What is good? Welcome. Hey, what's up, Rags? Welcome to the stream. What's up, Sweet Tea? What's up, Flydius? What's up, Figure Giant? Props to the 49ers. Like I said, Seahawks. Better. I don't know if the Seahawks are way better than the Rams. You guys are gonna have to battle that out and see who's better between them. I do think that the Seahawks defense is probably a bit better than the Rams. I think that the Rams offense is definitely better than the Seahawks offense though. So, but the Seahawks defense is for sure better than the Rams defense, because the Rams just gave up 400 yards of offense to Mac Jones and backups, the Seahawks, they would have creamed the Niners if the Niners had trotted out that lineup that we trotted out. So yeah, I think the Seahawks defense is definitely better, but the offense, Stafford's better than Darnold. Stafford's the best quarterback in the division. Like, it's definitely Stafford and then everybody else below Stafford. Stafford's the best quarterback in the division. And I think he's kind of running away with it. Like, I thought maybe Brock Purdy might be close or something, but I don't think Brock Purdy's close to Stafford. I think Stafford is a significant step above. One nice step above Brock Purdy. Let's see here. I don't think the original ad and the new one was based on or worked back in the day even. You didn't like the original one back in the day? What's up, Sidious? Welcome. Let's see, that 49ers game was it was impressive, super timely defensive plays. Oh yeah, I mean, like Nintendo. The 49ers got all of the like every single thing that could go wrong for them to win that game, or like for the Rams. Like the Rams had so many things that just didn't bounce their way. They missed a field goal. They got a stop on 4th down. They fumbled twice in the red zone. Like, it was a bunch of nonsense, So that's what the Niners needed. If you want to win with a bunch of backups and Mac Jones, you're going to have to get a lot of luck. Pinero hit a 59-yard field goal, and it looked like it would have been good from like 60-something. So it's like, there was definitely there was some luck on the Niners side for sure. They balled out, they played. Shanahan did a great job, but there was some luck too, there was some luck. So yeah. The Nintendo 49ers, exactly. They both have red on, so I get them confused, They both play in Seattle sometimes, they both play in San Francisco. The San Francisco what's it called? Store, the Nintendo store in San Francisco. Against the division in Seattle, Nintendo's there as well, so it all kind of blends together. Let's see here. Did I see the completionist is back? Yeah, I saw that. Good for him. Thanks, Vanilla Cream. I appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Emerson? Welcome. What is good? Stafford does not attempt to rush, unfortunately. I mean, he doesn't have to. He just can throw. I mean, he's 37 years old, so there's no need for him to be running around and get his head taken off. Just glad the Rams versus Niners didn't end in a tie. Hey, look, that tie definitely helps you out, though, Alonzo, with the Cowboys. It's better than getting a loss, that's for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, it would have been good for the Cowboys to get like a, because that's an NFC win. That's an NFC win against probably a playoff team. So that was definitely, I mean, if you would have got the win against the Green Bay Packers, that would have been huge for your playoff chances. Because I think the division is still open to win. I don't think that the Commanders have a lock on the division. So Dak is playing out of his mind too, by the way. Like, he's playing incredibly good. Let's see here. It's awesome Nintendo sponsors the Mariners. Yeah, they actually even used to own part of them. So Panera could have hit from 50 plus yards with the Panthers. Just our luck. I mean, he was accurate even with the Panthers. I mean, he did miss a few kicks here and there. But yeah, man, Shronix, I mean, it happens, bro. It happens. I think you guys probably need a reboot or a reset from like the top bottom when it comes to the Panthers, man. You guys need a reset. You guys need to find a real good coach that's going to be able to coach Bryce Young, or you're going to have to just start over and get somebody different that actually can see over the line, so you're going to have to do something. Yo, what's up, Yak Diesel? Hey, happy Friday, man. I appreciate you, fam. Let's go. Let's go. Shout outs to my man Yak Diesel. How you doing today? What is good? What is good? Hey, what's up, Yoshi? Welcome. What is good? What is good? What did Progressive say? Let's be honest. Is the Switch 2 overrated? Let's talk about that. I think that's a good topic of discussion. Is the Switch 2 overrated? No, it's not overrated. And let me tell you the reason why it's not overrated. It's not overrated because in the first calendar year, the first 6 months of the system's launch, let's go over the major first-party games. Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Galaxy, Pokemon Legends ZA, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4. In 6 months, you've got 7 big first-party titles. On top of that, you also got some smaller games that I didn't mention. Plus, you've got some of the biggest games of the year on there that you can play anywhere that you want. So, for example, you've got games like Split Fiction. You also got Cyberpunk. That's an older game, but still a very good game. You got Star Wars Outlaws that came out and looks and runs beautiful on there. And you can play it anywhere that you want. Look at what you got as well. Look at the recent games that came out. Hades 2, incredible. That's a console exclusive for right now. That's not on other consoles. It's on PC, but it's not on other consoles outside of Switch 1. So Hades 2, Trails in the Sky, in addition to Hollow Knight Silksong, all coming out. So, I mean, if you're looking at it from a game perspective and the games that it's getting, and you look at it from the first party's perspective, how can it be overrated? Where is it overrated at, you know? Yeah, Street Fighter 6. I mean, you just got a number of exclusives. You got third-party games. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But what could it be to not be overrated? And like, what would be a system that came out, that launched, that had a better first 6 months or had a better first party support? Like, I can't think of another system that had as good as a start with as good of games. Like, this is the first time. I think I might make a video on this, and I say that all the time, but this is the first time that Nintendo's ever had multiple 90+ rated third-party games actually launch on a new system that came out. Nintendo's always played catch-up, like, you know, with their systems. The Wii, the Wii U, the 3DS, none of those systems ever got the biggest games of the year. None of them, I mean, literally the biggest games or the best reviewed games of the year are Hollow Knight Silksong, Trails in the Sky, Split Fiction, Hades 2, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's got 5 90+ rated games in the first 3 to 4 months on the market. What other Nintendo system has done that? I mean, no other one. So if you're going to say that it's overrated, I don't see how. It's not based off the games that are coming out for it, because everyone's saying that the games are good. It's not based on the amount of first party games, because if you compare it to Microsoft or Sony, or even compared to Nintendo themselves, they got more first party games in the first 6 months than they had with any other system. Definitely not the Wii U, definitely not the 3DS, and not the Switch 1 either. So if you just compare it to any metric, you can. Now, if you want to talk about it from a online, you know, content creator standpoint and them just complaining so they can make money, sure, absolutely. But if you want to actually compare it to other systems and go blow for blow or game for game, how can you say that it's overrated? It doesn't make any sense to me. Then if that's the case, then Nintendo's never had a good system then, if the Switch 2 is overrated, you know? So yeah. Plus you got the Switch 2 Drag and Drive. There you go. Let's see here. I would say it's underrated. So much hate for no reason. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely think that, like I said, there are some issues. Game key cards, not the best thing. You know, there are some stuff, you know, when it comes to like storage, or you can talk about that. You can talk about some things here and there. But overall, if you're looking, like I said, if you want to talk objectively facts and actual games, not your feelings and emotions, but actually like what's coming out and what people think are good, like a consensus, so we don't just, you know, we don't put our own slant on everything. I mean, how can you say that it's overrated? How? You know? Unless every other system is overrated, because I didn't see this with PlayStation 5 when that launched. I mean, it didn't have 3 or 4 90+ rated games come out for it right at, you know, within 3 months. 3 or 4 months. I didn't see that with Xbox. Xbox Series didn't have a first party game until like a year later. You know, like I said, even with Switch 1 had, it was good. I mean, it had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's a, you know, it's a port from Wii U, but still good, still really good. You had Breath of the Wild, you had ARMS, and you had Splatoon. That's not bad for the first 6 months, but I mean, the Switch 2 has more. It had Mario plus Rabbids. I mean, you had Pokken Tournament. You had a few different things, but third-party support was absolutely shot. I mean, there were no big third-party games in the first 6 months. It took 8 months before the Switch 1 got a massive or AAA third-party game. Which, once again, it's not all about AAA third-party games, but even like AA games were way better, you know? Like, even like the AA market was way better with the Switch 2. So yeah. I'm just going based off of, like I said, I've lived through all these systems. I've been around. You know, I've been playing games for 40 years now, you know, so I've seen the launches, I've seen the games, I remember, you know, I'm just comparing it. OJ, glad to see that Atlanta Falcons bounce back after a bad loss to the Panthers last week. Penix has a lot of potential. Defense played a lot better. Yeah, absolutely. 9-1 game, everyone. Been enjoying Trails in the Sky remake. Yeah. Plus all the Switch 1 library. Now you can actually play games and better, like, for example, Echoes of Wisdom is like a new game almost, you know. Pokemon Skull and Violet is like a new game on Switch 2. So I don't know. I don't see how it's overrated at all. Okay, J2 Blue accidentally deleted somebody's comment. Said, man, I wish my physical copy of Fire Emblem Engage was a game key card. Audio keeps cutting out, and then brand new from Target tested both Switch 1 and Switch 2. I don't think that has anything to do with the game key card or not. I'm not sure why your audio keeps cutting out though. Have you checked your surround sound system or your TV? And check your settings to make sure that you don't accidentally have it on like something that it doesn't support, like surround, or make sure that check that too in the Switch menu. Thank you, OJ. I just feel like basically Switch 1 Pro, a lot of games are basically upgrades to Switch 1 games. Although I generally think this console generation is overrated. Well, what would you have thought, or what would you have made it not a Switch 1 Pro? Because clearly it's significantly stronger than a Switch 1. A Switch 1 Pro or a Pro system wouldn't be able to do the things that it does, typically speaking, right? Typically speaking, a Pro system wouldn't be able to, like I think NVIDIA said it was 10 times stronger or something like that. A Pro system isn't going to be 10 times stronger. You're not going to be able to get this performance out of a Pro system. Look at the PS4, PS4 Pro, even like PS5, PS5 Pro. You're usually not going to get this level of boost. It's really going to be like a double or maybe even a triple, but Nintendo says this is around 10 times stronger. So that's a generational leap from the Switch 1. So what would you have liked to see for it not to be that? Because Nintendo's done this before. Look at the DS, look at the 3DS. I mean, was that just the DS Pro, right? Or look at the N64 and look at the GameCube. Wasn't that just a N64 Pro, right? If we're using that logic. Or look at the NES, look at the Super NES. Wasn't that just a NES Pro, right? So what would you be looking for you to say that it's not that? It's a significant jump in power. It's obvious they've made everything better so far. So what do you think they should have done in order for it to be something that'll be, oh my gosh, so great, or you're blown away, right? Like what would be the best option? Should they do gimmicks? Should they do that? Would that make it better if it was less powerful like the Wii and it was a completely different thing from the GameCube? Is that what you would have wanted? Would you wanted something like that? So let me know. So yeah. Gaming Manor, what's up, Gaming Manor? Welcome. Got my copy of Marvel Galaxy 1 and 2 the other day. Yes, I got mine. I'm all PC handheld now. With laptop on the side, what's the point? PlayStation is the same boring game, done and done again. Xbox is just forget it. Nintendo, the only console I still enjoy. Oh, that's fair. Justin with the dollar dono says, what do you think about future update for Switch 2 that adds better battery mode, limits the screen to 720p 60, no HDR, no 3D audio, just stereo? I think that'd be good if they have anything that helps like get extra, quality out of the system, or get extra battery time out of the system. So yeah, I would like to see that. I would definitely like to see that if they can. Pro consoles keep the same CPU, by the way, versus the original models. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't ever... A Pro system never bumps it up to this type of degree. It usually doesn't. A Pro system, if a game doesn't already run at 60, a Pro system isn't all of a sudden going to make it run at 60. Now, there are some rare cases, but most of the time, that's not going to happen. So, usually with the Pro system, it's a smaller jump. It's a nice jump, but it's a smaller jump. The Switch 2 is significantly, like a generation's actually stronger. Not just like a generation, but like generations stronger than at least the Tegra X1 compared to what they have now, So I'm looking at it this way. This is how I look at it. I look at it this way. If you like Switch 1, and if you thought Switch 1 was great, then you're probably going to think Switch 2 is great. Now, before we had Pro systems, we had stuff like NES to Super NES. We had N64 to GameCube. And nobody said, this is just the same thing, but just a Pro system. The whole point was, we got better performance. We can do different things in the games. Now we can actually have things possible that weren't there before. Now, the thing about it is that the problem that we're seeing is that a lot of developers aren't doing anything that they couldn't do before. Like what you see on Xbox and PlayStation a lot is like, oh, well, now we can have more skin cells. We can see the more skin cells than that. Like, they're not doing things like with the gameplay that make it, oh my God, we're doing all these cool gameplay things that completely change it. It's like, oh, well, the graphics, it's just that. Whereas with, for example, Donkey Kong Bonanza wouldn't even really be possible with the type of fidelity and with the type of explosions and the gameplay that they needed to be on the Switch 1. It wouldn't have been the same game. It wouldn't have been as expansive. It wouldn't have had the really unique and interesting digging mechanic and all of that. Really cool, innovative gameplay, right? So I think that's part of it. Or for example, Mario Kart World, it's like, yeah, that would have been at 30 frames with frame rate dips, but now we have 24 players or 24 racers on the screen. Now it's a whole open world that you can explore at any time. That's the type of stuff where it's like, a lot of times, like when it comes to like graphics, that's what developers will do. Like they'll use the extra horsepower just for like the graphics are better. Like the gameplay is exactly the same or very similar, but it'll be like just, hey, look, the person has better skin textures now, you know? Because we've been able to do big open worlds and stuff like that, where with one person, a Souls game, one person running around, you know? So, found other people on Reddit had similar audio issues to the physical edition of Fire Emblem Engage. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, man. Shake. Switch 2 feels like a Switch Pro, but it's exactly what people wanted, so it's not a bad thing. Once again, I think you guys don't know what a Pro system is. A Pro system doesn't make the type of bump that it does, so it's not. But then again, like I said, if you're gonna say that, then I'll ask this question: is the Super NES a Pro system to the NES? Is the GameCube a Pro system to the N64? I'll ask that. How about that? Because those are the same concepts, the same themes, but just way stronger. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of it's just a Pro system. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of saying that. Or if that's the case, then obviously like with PlayStation and Microsoft, they only make Pro systems then, right? Like they just make the same system but stronger, if I'm not correct. So is everything a Pro system? Is the PS5 just a Pro system? So they made a PS5 Pro? Is the PS3 just a Pro PS2? Is the PS2 just a Pro PS1? If that's the case, then everything's a Pro system, if that's the case. There are no actual new systems. Everything's just the Pro. I picked up Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 yesterday. Got the Pac-Man World Repack 2 today from Best Buy. I didn't get to play those Pac-Man games back in 1999. Glad to try them out. Nice. Let's go. It's probably due to a lot of games being released on Switch 2 that are also available on Switch 1. There's a lot of games that are available on the PS4 that are also available on the PS5. So is the PS5 just a Pro system of the PlayStation 4? There's a lot of games that were available on the PS2 that are available on the PS3, you know? So yeah. So okay, so every single system is a Pro system then. Then everything's a Pro system at this case. Microsoft's, there's a bunch of games that were available on the Xbox One that are available on the Xbox Series. There's a bunch of games that are available on the original Xbox that are available on the Xbox 360. So everything's a Pro system then. So okay, that's fine. If everything's a Pro system, then that's okay. As long as you're willing to play by the same rules, I have no problem, you know? So yeah. I think it has to do with the UI for me. You boot up the Switch 2, it feels exactly like Switch 1. Okay, and that's, once again, that's fine. So if they completely changed the UI and it was the exact same system, but they changed the UI completely, all of a sudden it's not a Pro system, it's a brand new system. So it's just basically superficial. It doesn't have to do like with the games or with the power. It's just based on what you see the UI. So that's what you determine whether it's a Pro system or not. Okay, interesting. Let's see. The Pro system argument is hilarious. SD Express are 8 times faster. That's some serious power. Yeah. Pretty sure the Xbox Series didn't really change UI over that one. It didn't. It's pretty much, I mean, they've evolved the UI, but they've basically essentially evolved the same UI over and over and over. I mean, it's looked differently from like the Xbox 360 blades, but when they went to the Xbox One, they kind of had a look, and they've kind of like modified that look since the Xbox One. But yeah, it's the same overall. So yeah. Let's see here. If it was a Pro, you'd be able to play Switch 2 games on the OG Switch. There you go. Microsoft and Sony don't allow Pro systems to play exclusive games. But however, I will say this. While I do agree with that, Nintendo has not had the same policy. With their systems, anything that was a Pro in the past, like let's just say the new Nintendo 3DS, the DSi, the Game Boy Color, all those systems had exclusive games. Well, actually, some of them you couldn't play on the original Game Boy. Some you could, but there was a lot of exclusives for the Game Boy Color. There was exclusives for the DSi, like eShop or whatever. There was exclusives for the new Nintendo 3DS, although there wasn't that many, but there was some. There was like 2 or 3, if I'm not correct. I think Fire Emblem Warriors, Xenoblade, there might have been another 1 or 2, but yeah, there wasn't many. So yeah, I don't think everything is a Pro system. I guess the generation in general has a very incremental leap as opposed to say the NES, the Super NES. On paper, it'd be 10 times stronger, but the gameplay graphics is very minimal for the generation in general. That's why I'm not a fan of PS6 coming out anytime soon. Okay, well, that's just the law of diminishing returns, because some of the jumps are actually bigger than the NES. I mean, technically, 8-bit, 16-bit, right? That'd be just a doubling of power. You see what I'm saying? Like, on paper, that would just be a doubling of power. The PS4 to the PS5 is not a simple doubling of power. It was much more than a doubling. The Switch 1 to Switch 2 is not a doubling of power. It is a much bigger leap than doubling of power. So I think this is the reason why I have an issue. Once again, it's based off of you guys' emotions. It's not actually based off of facts, you know. But like I said, on paper, it's much stronger than what we saw with the leaps before. PS4 to PS5, PS2 to PS3. These are big, these are huge leaps overall, especially Switch 1 to Switch 2. Switch 1 to Switch 2 is a massive leap, like a crazy leap. The thing though is that it's the law of diminishing returns. You can't get past that. As graphics advance more, it's going to look less and less impressive. Doesn't mean that it's not more impressive in terms, it doesn't mean that it's not more in terms of the power jump. It just simply means that there is a factual law of diminishing returns, you know? So I think so it's not really a minimal leap. It's actually a pretty big leap. And like I said, some of the leaps are bigger than even what we saw back in the day, you know? The problem is that the graphics were more rudimentary. They were more basic. So the graphical leaps in today's day aren't going to look quite as impressive as it was back then. Once again, because of the law of diminishing returns, you know? So yeah. Personally, I don't have a PS5. I mostly play on PC and my Switch. There are some people who don't want to deal with that, rather buy a console. That's true. That's why, by the way, the PS6 will feel even less like a big leap compared to PS4, PS5. Honestly, the PS4, PS5 it doesn't, like I said, I know on paper, but it doesn't feel like it. But it's definitely a big leap for sure. It's definitely a big leap, but sometimes it doesn't feel that way, you know? So yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think it all goes back to you know, when you look at things, technically big leaps, but doesn't feel as big. I don't, like I said, that's subjective, right? If you play Pokemon Legends or play Pokemon Scarlet on the Switch 1, then play Pokemon Scarlet on the Switch 2 and see if there's a big leap or not, you know? I mean, I don't know. Me personally, it feels like a pretty big leap. It feels like a pretty big... I mean, if you play... That feels like a big leap to me. If you play Pokemon Scarlet on Switch 1, then play it on Switch 2 and see if there's a big leap or not. In my opinion, there is a massive leap that is able to do something like that, in my opinion. So, I don't know. That's just me, though. Let's see here. Just picked up Tourist for Switch 2. Cost me a whole $5 because it recognized I already had the Switch 1. Yeah, I need to get that too myself. So, Vibe was like a new game. Yeah, Vibe was like a new game on Switch 2. Like it feels like a whole new game on there. Just going, yeah. I mean, I would say that too. Yeah, we got to talk about the eShop too, because the eShop loads so slowly on the Switch 1, but on Switch 2, it's like nearly instant. It definitely more than doubles the time it takes to get to the eShop. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what to me a leap is. A leap is, to me, is like when you have significant enough horsepower to where you feel there's a difference in the games. And on top of that, it's on paper, but also on top of that, you also get the games that feel different enough. But it's going to get less and less impressive as we go on, you know? So, just try Zelda. I mean, to be able to render a game like Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, or Breath of the Wild at, you know, upscaled 4K or 1440p 60 FPS, that takes a lot of processing power. I mean, obviously the Switch 1, I mean, you're looking at 900p or 1080p dynamic. You're looking at 30 FPS with dips. If you're Tears of the Kingdom, you're looking at 30 FPS with predicted dips. Anytime you pull out Ultra Hand, hitch, game hitches and slows down a bit in certain areas. So, I mean, to be able to get that from 20 something to 30 frames per second, to get that to pretty much locked at 60 while in the most busiest areas doing all the crazy stuff, that is a pretty big leap in terms of it, you know. So, shout outs to Initial J with the $5 and says, people here expecting Switch 2 to be better than PS5. Meanwhile, it's like 1/4 the size of PS5, probably smaller, honestly. I don't think people are expecting that. I just think that, once again, people don't understand. They don't necessarily understand the law of diminishing returns. Like, the law of diminishing returns is the law of diminishing returns. And I don't think that a system is underwhelming, or I don't think it's overrated because somebody doesn't feel like, oh man, it's because I don't feel like there's a big enough leap. That's fine. I do. I played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 1. I played on the Switch 2. It's actually playable. There's many games that are now playable. On top of that, games like Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World clearly wouldn't have been possible. Or even like Cyberpunk or whatever the case is, right? Like, so to me, there's a lot of possibilities. And then the fact that you can play that anywhere. Switch 1 was great. Switch 1 had so many good things, Initial J. It had so many good things. But we all saw the limitations with Switch 1 when it came to third-party games. Like, look at Doom 2016, okay? Look at Doom 2016. Or look at, you know, what else? Look at The Witcher. Look at The Witcher 3 on Switch 1, right? Now, compare that to the third-party games that are coming out on Switch 2, that you can play anywhere. Not just that you can play them on your TV, because, yeah, anybody can make a console and it be powerful enough. You can just put some type of graphics card in there. But to make a hybrid that you can play anywhere, and it can play those modern games, and it's not like we have to wait years and years and years, but like that we actually are getting some day-and-date ports as well. Resident Evil, that you can play Resident Evil, you can play all these games. That is a significant jump up above what we saw with Switch 1, where once again, what was the new big game third-party wise that came out day and date on the Switch 1? Like I said, I don't even remember any. Like Doom Eternal, and even that was delayed. There were almost zero day-and-date major games because of the hybrid nature of the Switch 1, because of the power of the system. Switch 2, you're getting day-and-date stuff, man. You're getting stuff that's ported over very shortly after launch, and it's good enough quality. Like it's not like they take it and they make it to where it's undistinguishable. Once again, law of diminishing returns on that one. But I mean, I see what you're saying, Initial J. Thank you for the $5 dono. Boys and girls, we are only 4 combos away from a 60 1-hour extension. Let's go. So yeah. Also, game library is significantly different from what it came before. What did the other consoles even have at launch? Multiplats. I mean, Microsoft had all multiplats, but Sony had Dark Souls, or no, sorry, Demon Souls. They had like Miles Morales. What else did they have? They had the place. They had like some Destruction All Stars. They had some nonsense like that. They didn't really have anything that great outside of Miles Morales and Demon Souls were probably like the 2 best games, you know, that they had at launch in terms of first party. And then it was a while, but then they got later, like a number of months later, they got Returnal and they got Ratchet and Clank in the summer. So yeah. Yeah, remaking some deals. I mean, yeah, technically an expansion, a standalone expansion, and a remake. Yes, that's what they got. Yes. So yeah, my hours on Scarlet and Violet went from 50 hours to 325 hours. So yeah, exactly. I agree with you on you gamer on the other consoles. Okay, now you're talking to somebody else. Hey, what's up, Ava Cook? Welcome. The law's the law. So yeah, it gets less and less impressive, but more and more expensive. Is there a point at which it's not worth developing new consoles? There might be a point at some point, but I mean, for Nintendo, since they were already so far behind, no, not for them. I think for Sony and Microsoft, I think it's starting to get to that point where it's like, it's just the PC now, you know? I think with me, this is the first time, in my opinion, where I know for a fact I'm not like, I need to get that next system. Like when the PS6 starts getting hyped up and I'm like, I'm good, I got a PS5 Pro. I didn't feel that way initially with my PS4 Pro, but I probably shouldn't have bought the PS5 at launch because I didn't really like or play anything till Returnal. So I probably shouldn't have. But with my PS5 Pro, I feel that it's so strong, it's so powerful enough, and games run great on there. Developers need to utilize it a bit more. But if developers start utilizing it more when the PS6 comes out, I don't really need a PS6 at launch because the PS5 Pro is so good. So I think that, yeah, we're getting to that point for people where it's just like, okay, for those who just want graphics, and sorry for the background noise, my wife is doing some reconstruction stuff in the house. So I think for some people, it might be getting to that point. For me, it is getting to that point. But to me, the hybrid nature of the Switch 2 makes it to where I'm like, well, wait a minute. I can play that quality of game, or maybe not PS5 quality, but close to it, somewhere around there, anywhere that I want. I mean, that's invaluable for me because I do travel. I do like to lie down on the bed. I do like to, watch TV and play a game at the same time. Like, I don't like to just you know, well, it's not that I don't like to, but I can't because, you know, my family, like my son wants to come over. I need to go be in his room when he's watching Coco Melon, you know. So I'd rather have, like, you know, and he's cool. He lets me just play my game. He's watching Coco Melon. I can play my game. So for me, I actually like the hybrid nature. It makes it so much, it makes it more exciting to be able to play higher quality games because we saw the promise. We saw the promise with Switch 1, but there was some issues. You know, and like for me, you guys know I talked about this many times. Like the AA games, man. The AA games pissed me off. I mean, they were crusty on Switch 1. Dude, you had games run. I mean, look at Trails in the Sky. I mean, it's a Switch 1 game. But I mean, look at how it runs on that system. It's like, that shouldn't be a thing, you know? And I got kind of tired of that. Like getting a AA game and it running like at 20-something frames per second, or getting Age of Calamity running at 20-something frames per second. That's ridiculous, you know? That was a yap session. Let's see, for YouTube purposes, might make good views. I didn't even get that great of views with the PS5. Joe 9K with the $20 says, don't you think that the upgraded games from Switch 1 are not enough for the new system to succeed? It needs more previous games to be upgraded, either paid or free. Previous games getting upgraded are not what sells your system. I don't think that's what sold the Switch. I mean, like, backwards compatibility helps, but the PS5 sold incredible and it doesn't have any upgraded systems. It just has straight up backwards compatibility. They didn't even really do any, like, here you go, get all these upgrades. Nintendo did way more than them. So I don't think that's what sells your system in order to sell. You need actual new games coming out that are exciting. So that's what sells the system. Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, new games like Hades. New titles are what sells your systems, not just old games that people say, oh, now I can upgrade it. That doesn't sell your system as much. You need new games to push your system. You know, obviously Pokemon Legends ZA, stuff like that. That's what's going to sell your system, not just banking on old games getting upgraded. That's just like a little bonus. That's like nice when they do that, but that's not what sells a new system or not. I mean, the Switch 1 sold on 0 backwards compatibility. So no, I wouldn't be inclined to think that. But yeah, I do think that it'd be great to get more. But most people are looking for like the big games to push the new system, you know, not older games. Shout outs to Joe 9K. Thank you for the $20 though. I appreciate that. JoJo boys. Also Gloria with the 10 says, greetings OJ, greetings chat. Hey, shout outs. Thank you so much. A 30 bomb out of nowhere. Thank you guys so much. 86 on the board. Yo, we are out here. Let's get a JoJo for that one as well. Big love. Thank you for that, guys. You guys are dope, man. We're almost 14 combos away. JoJo Fridays in the house. 14 combos away from the 100 overclock. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Let's go. Also got some ties on the board. Joe 9K. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. Joe 9K. Will we get Ninja Gaiden 4 eventually? Joe 9K. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that support, guys. Almost at that platinum streak at 100 overclock. Let's go. And JoJo's. We got more JoJo's. 5 total. Yo, we out here. Let's go. JoJo's going up. Let's see here. What's up, Roadhouse? Yeah, Mac Jones looking good. So yeah. There are issues with PSSR. I tried Silent Hill F. The character was blurry. There was some flickering in textures. Oh, okay. When are we getting next 3D Mario? I hope it's not Galaxy 3. Had enough of Galaxy stuff. I think I'm over re-releases. OJ, yeah, you don't gotta buy re-releases. Pokemon Legends ZA comes out in 2 weeks. So you don't gotta buy re-releases at all. And I don't think it's gonna be Galaxy 3 for the next game, but we'll see. Devs have a hard time affording to make games taking advantage of the next gen after this. Cost of development is real. Yeah, they're going to be going towards AI. A lot of games are just going to be using AI to help mitigate that. Let's see here. Bro, I'm happy with PS5. Switch 3 going to be crack when it comes to power. We'll see what they do. I think it's going to be a long time before we get a Switch 3. Honestly, with all the PS exclusives coming over to PC, I just play them through Steam. Yeah, that's true. I personally like to have a console. I like the PS5 controller, although I know you can use one on Steam. I like to have the option for physical. So, I mean, I'd rather just, if I'm going to get a PS5 game, I'd rather just, you know, get it on my PlayStation 5 and hook it up to my TV and play. But I get Steam. It's easy to do Steam. Steam's great, you know. It feels good playing Galaxy 2 again with normal controls. Yeah, like the pointer controls could be better, obviously, but just like running around and being able to just play that way, jump and all that without, and then also controlling certain aspects like the tilt ball and all that, and like the flying, definitely not a bad thing. Definitely not a bad thing overall. So yeah. Let's see. We're hitting the ceiling with graphics and frame rates with these consoles. There's only so much clarity and smoothness the human eye can detect. I mean, I think that, you know, yeah, it's somewhat getting to that point. But once again, I think that there's going to be some new technologies that help break through. But yeah, the technology is getting very expensive. It's getting to the point to where, yeah, you're seeing $600, $700, $800, $900, $1,000 consoles, $1,000 portable PC thingies. It's pretty crazy. The Ratchet and Clank series is pretty good. Also, Knack 1 and 2 were underrated games that I hated on, but the gameplay was awesome. Yeah, I don't know if I can agree with the Knack stuff, but Ratchet and Clank is okay. Ratchet and Clank's alright. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Ratchet and Clank anymore. I played Ripped Apart, and I got bored of it pretty quickly. But I know that they're good games for sure, though. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you look at Ninja Gaiden 4, I mean, I don't think it'd be hard to get that game at 60 on the Switch too. It doesn't really look that great, to be honest, but it looks okay. Nintendo's really driving a hard bargain with Galaxy 1 too. I want the enhancements for Galaxy 1 as well, but it's damn expensive. Yeah, it's $70 for it, man. So I mean, you could just buy. I mean, I don't know. You could just buy. I guess you could just buy the what's it called, like Galaxy 2. Anyone play the new Sonic game yet? Sonic Racing CrossWorlds? Oh yeah, there's people here that have played it. Let's see. I'm willing to trade off a bit of graphics. Also can play portable. Me too. I am also willing to trade off a bit of graphics to play portable. I am as well. But like I said, I think with Switch 1, sometimes it was kind of hard to do that because sometimes like you know, I mean, yeah, I can do it, but it just depends. It depends on like the game and like what it does and stuff like that, you know. Like Jak and Daxter more. A lot of people say that they like Jak and Daxter more than Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. Absolutely. What's up, Oscar? I didn't say what up to Oscar. What's up, Oscar? What's up, Gamer Guy? What's up, Progressive G? What is up, guys? Shoutouts. Favorite console of all time? Oh, man, I don't know, dude. I definitely like the GameCube, Super Nintendo, PS2, Switch. They're all really good. So yeah. Yeah, portability is convenient. Yeah, I saw that about Arthur Jones passing away. Bones Jones' brother. That's very unfortunate. You know, sad, definitely sad. Let's see here. If you guys have more questions, feel free to tag me at Players. It's hashtag Players by itself. More than happy to answer your questions. Shout out to Squirrella. Good to see you here. Welcome to the stream, young lady. Good to see you here. No, you're talking to Gloria, the Gamer Guy, 1981, but I'm the same way, man. Like, I'm also married. I have a small child. If I didn't have portability, dude, I mean, I'm not allowed to be in this room unless I'm working. Like I'm not even like allowed to be in this room. I gotta be looking at my boy. I gotta be, you know, helping get dinner ready. I gotta be cleaning up. You know, I gotta be doing something. I gotta work out, you know. So, I mean, like, this room is, like, really just for me, even though my TV's in here, like, it's kind of like my game room and my office. Like, I can't even be in here I gotta be working if I'm in here. If not, I'm out in the living room, out in my son's room, you know, I'm in the kitchen, I'm doing whatever, right? So, having Nintendo Switch 2 has been, I don't know if I'd even be able to play games as much as well. Like, I'd probably get 50 to 60% less gaming time, maybe even more, yeah. So... Oh, I'm exactly work. 44 married, work full. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you gotta work too. That's the thing with me. It's like, yeah, I'm in here, but I can't be playing games all day. I gotta edit. Editing takes at least 3 hours to 4 hours, depending on how long the video. And then streaming every single day, I gotta get 30 to 40 minutes prep, thumbnails, all that, plus 3 hours of streaming usually. So we're looking at a full, you know, at least 7-8 hours, maybe even more, a little bit more if you're looking at research too. So I don't even got time to sit in here and play, because by the time I'm done, I'm kind of like exhausted. So I'm like, okay, I can lie down on the bed and play portable in my son's room, but I can't stand here because he wants me to be over there, and I can't have him inside here because he starts grabbing everything. So maybe when he gets older, I can be in here and I can put on, you know, whatever, and he can watch on the side or he can play games with me. But until then, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sit down on the TV and play, you know. Let's see, I hope you're right about Ninja Gaiden 4, OJ. I'm gonna hold out. I wouldn't hold out if I were you. If you want to get the game, just go get the game, because it might take a while. We don't know how long Microsoft's gonna take, I mean, to port stuff over. So if you want to play it, just get it. I don't think portability helps that game too much. I mean, it's a high-paced or high-octane action game. Might be better to just play it on TV, like with the best possible performance, like PS5 or Xbox Series. So I personally, if you're looking forward to Ninja Gaiden a lot, I wouldn't wait unless you really want to play it portable, you know? Just happy Nintendo is back with new exciting games. It really helped remind me what it means to have fun with games. Dude, it really is, man. Because I'm telling you, man, there'd be a little bit of a depression, for me at least, without this. I mean, like, because I don't get my Metaphor Refantasios. I mean, we might get like one quality of a Metaphor or a SMT5 or something like that, you know? So yeah. So yeah. So let's see here. Gaming is escape. Yeah. Escape when you can. The real world pulls you back in as fast as possible. You guys give some big love to Gloria, and also Joe9K. If you guys want some music, both of you guys had great comments and stuff, so I appreciate that. Joe9K, if you want a track or two, let me know. Thank you for the big 20, and also Gloria, if you want a video game track, let me know. So yeah, shout outs, guys. I haven't played Peach's Showtime. I've been listening to the OST. We got put in the app. It's got some serious bangers. Oh yeah, it's got some great music. I'm not sure if the game is as good as the music, but it's got some good music. Portable is way too important to me. There are times when I just want to play in bed, including when I have a cold now. Just nice to have the option. Yeah, the option is always very, I would say it's cool. It's cool to have the option. Now, not everybody cares or needs that, you know, so obviously there's gonna be some people that don't care about that. I know, like my man Brian Jedi, who comes here every now and then, he like does not care about portability at all, because you know, he lives by himself, no kids, you know. But yeah, if I had no kids, lived by myself, no wife, bro, I'd probably just be playing games, you know, on the TV all the time too. Well, no, because I always liked playing games lying down. Like I always liked playing like my Game Boy back in the day, like lying down in bed and stuff. So probably it wouldn't be completely like that, but I definitely play a lot more, you know, docked up. So this year's been kind of stressful overall, but a good year personally. I've had so much fun with gaming again, where last couple years have not been great. Oh man, that's not good, party man. That's not good. A friendly neighbor, Fiberman, I barely have time to play games. I know. I mean, like I said, I barely have time. I'm a freaking YouTube content creator, and I barely have time to play games. So I can only imagine for a lot of you guys that are working 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, it's tough. You get home, you're tired, you know? Get home tired, you gotta eat. Maybe you want to just relax. You're not mentally there to check into some big RPG or check into something. Like, and I have those days too, where I'm just not mentally, like, I don't want to get into something like that. I just kind of want to, I don't know, like watch a TV show or just relax, watch YouTube, like listen to Did You Know Gaming and fall asleep, you know? So I'm that way as well. I can't grind an RPG without portability anymore. That is one thing that I will say. I don't think I'm ever going to play any RPGs like that are on like that are not on Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, obviously Metaphor Refantasios, that was before the Switch 2 even came out. But like, for me, like I kind of need that for grinding in RPGs. Like I think I'd rather like not play a game like Digimon. I'd rather just like not play it than if there's like no Switch 2 version. Like for me, certain games gotta have us from now this point going forward. With Switch 1, it was like, okay, I get it, because Switch 1 is not as powerful. It'd be tough. But for Switch 2, like if it's not on there and it's an RPG, especially a turn-based RPG, I mean, you can forget about it. I'll probably just skip it till they get it on Switch 2, and if they don't, I probably just won't play it. You know, so Ocarina of Time, Gerudo Valley. All right, I got you, Joe9K. Thank you for the support, brother. You're the best. I hope they do get more of those updates for games, though. Joe9K, you wanted Ocarina of Time. Oh, Karina. Gerudo Valley. Thank you so much for your support, man. My view says, yo, OJ, Mario Galaxy 3 coming out movie release, or is it going to be the new 3D Mario or Gamer Odyssey 2? We'll have to wait and see, my view. We'll see what happens. See, Switch Pro wouldn't have Switch 2 exclusive games. There you go, Mickey. Facts, I'm waiting for Metaphor and Expedition 33 on Switch 2. Yeah. I don't know how long it's going to take for both of those, but I mean, sorry about my green screen messing up too, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm getting my room fixed up. Just, I got to wait for, there's Prime Days next week, so there's some really cool stuff that I want to get, but I'm not going to buy it now because I can just wait for the Prime Days and I can get a lot more for the little thing that I got, which I'll talk about later. That somebody was very nice enough to give to me. Yeah, Prime Days are next week, and there's going to be a ton of cool stuff for, like, room decor, so I just want to get everything all at once, you know? Let's see here. Facts. But yeah, PS5, the last stronghold of physical games. The last stronghold? I don't think so. I know you're just trolling and having fun with what people are saying, but it's actually not. The last real stronghold of physical games is actually still the Switch 2. And let me tell you the reason why. It's the PS5, but it's also the Switch 2, and let me give you the reason why. PS5 to me, yes, is it a physical game? Yes, does it carry the data on the disc? Yes, it does that. But the problem that I have is that it doesn't work like how a physical game is supposed to work. It got bootlegged a gen ago. It got bootlegged a gen ago. Physical games, if you buy or if you play a physical game. So for example, this right here is a physical game. Okay, hold up. Hold up. I got some examples. These 3 games are not all built differently. Okay? 2 of these games are real physical games. One of these games are like 75% physical game. Can anybody guess the game that isn't the actual 100% real? There's one imposter out of those 3. There's one imposter out of these 3 games. There's one imposter of a real physical, 100% hardcore real physical game. What's the imposter in this list? Anybody know the imposter? A lot of you guys are already getting it. Yeah, Coco Melon. I hate Coco Melon too. Exactly. MGS5 or MGS5 The Phantom Pain. This game also works on the PlayStation 5. Let me tell you the reason why this game, it's physical, but it's also somewhat the imposter. When you pop in and play this game, if you were to open it up, pop it in your 3DS or your DS, it loads right up. There's nothing else. You can just play. There's no problem. It just works. That's a real physical game. And it plays off the cartridge. This right here, this is the Wonderful 101. This is an interesting thing. Because in the generation where Microsoft and Sony said that we're going to turn everything into a PC, Nintendo said, no, you can just play it off the disc. This is for real. There is no installing to a hard drive. It just plays. It just plays off of the disc. It runs off of the disc. Sure, there might be some updates or whatever, but it plays off of that. You don't gotta wait. To me, a real physical game, you don't have to, a real true blue physical game, you don't have to install. That is a PC game. PC is not a real physical game. That's a PC. Like, installing it to a hard drive, it's not playing off the hard drive. The disc becomes a DRM check. It becomes a key. Like, oh, you own the game. But the game is playing off of a hard drive. That is a digital game in every sense, but all you have is the key that lets you play the game. That says, oh, you own it. But it's playing off of the hard drive. It ain't playing off of the disc. The disc is now nothing. It's just verifying that you have it. So to me, that is not the last beacon of physical gaming. Because that's not a real 100% physical game. It's not running off the game. It's running off the hard drive. The game is on the hard drive. It's just the disc that says you own the game, but the game is on the hard. That is a PC. That is a PC. That is not an actual real physical game. It's a DRM check. Sony, I bet you anything, Sony could release an update that allows you to play the game without having it in there. A security, because literally the whole game is on the hard drive. It's not running off the disk, you know? So that would be the only reason why that I would say that while yes, PS5, PS4, Xbox to a degree, they have physical games, yes, but it's not a real true blue 100% physical game like we have. Now, once again, it's definitely better than a game key card for a lot of people. Absolutely, myself included. But Nintendo actually still has true blue real physical games because it actually runs off the cartridge. Like if you're playing Mario Kart World, if you're playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's off the cartridge. It is not installing installing the whole thing to your hard drive. So that's the difference for me. It's not about rather, it's about which one is actually a real physical game. To me, that's not more of a real physical game than a game that actually plays off the cartridge. You're playing that PS5 game off of a hard drive. So if you're talking about the last beacon of physical games, bro, hold up. It doesn't play off that. That's not a physical game, really. It's a hard drive. It's just a verification disc. So yes, I agree. Having it over a game key card is better, but you can't sit here and say they're the last beacon when they stop actually having real physical games and Nintendo actually does it where it plays off the cartridge. So no. I'm gonna have to stop you there.
Exquisite breakdown when OJ starts with, "Let me tell you why."
I've got it. Listen, a lot of you guys are, new school. Felipe is new school. He doesn't remember how games used to work. So we've gotta let you know. We've gotta let you know what's going on there. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 were not leaked. We already knew those games were coming. Now that is not a leak. They have been rumored now for years at this point. They have been rumored for years. That is not a leak. Shout outs to Psychopie. Thank you for the $5 dono. 91 on the board. I appreciate that combo breaker. Nope. Not the last beacon at all. Not the last beacon. The last beacon is actual physical cartridge games. Like, that's the last beacon to me. So, nope. Jax, I know it sounds stupid. A reason why some people can't take game key cards, insert into Switch to download it, then be able to play without a cartridge. Why someone can't? Because they're not tied to an account. They're simulating actually having a physical game. A physical game is not tied to an account. So that's the reason why game key cards, you can't. Now, could they release an update to where you could? Maybe. They maybe could, but a game key card in a really ghetto way works very similar to a what's it called? To a PS5 or Xbox Series, because that data on that physical game, it's gonna get taken up no matter what. Back in my day, physical games didn't take up your space on whatever hard drive you have. Physical games didn't have to install to something. That was not what a physical game was. A physical game played like a physical game. It played off the game. You didn't install it to something else. That's not how a physical game is supposed to work. Sony and Microsoft brainwashed everyone into thinking a physical game works like a PC. No, it's not. That's not a real physical game. To me, a physical game needs to play off of the game to be a real physical game. To be 100% real physical game, it needs to actually play off that game. So that's my opinion. That is mine. But once again, everyone's entitled to have their own opinions. So everyone's entitled to have their own opinion. So yeah. So yeah, everyone's entitled. Let's see here. Place that you missed my chat. Makes flop no sense. What, Sonic Racing? We were just talking about the Japanese sales, where the Japanese sales are a little bit low. But that's really it, Thomas. Yo, shout outs to Psychopie. Thank you for the $5 dono. If you want some music, let me know, man. I got you, Psychopie. You're not entitled to a lifetime access to luxury goods. What does that mean, dang? Let's see here. Installing to a hard drive is no different than a download only. There is some fundamental differences. Now, there are some differences that are similar, but the difference is that installing to a hard drive and the speed of that is going to vary compared to downloading. Your internet, it's going to be based off that. And once again, it's based off the internet. So that's factor, whereas installing, you don't need an internet connection at all. So there are some fundamental differences, but there are also some very similar things, like taking up space on your hard drive when a physical game should never take up space on your hard drive. It wasn't until the PS4 generation. We had multiple generations where, yeah, there were optional downloads and maybe even smaller downloads, like some games maybe needed like a gigabyte or 2 or something like that, like on PS5, or even like I think Grand Theft Auto needed to be installed. But like for the most part, all Xbox 360 games and many PS3 games, you can just pop it in there and you can play. You can pop in the disc and you can play. The PS2 was the same way. The PS1 was the same way. The NES, the game, like every single system. It's really, there's actually only a few systems that make you install. It's just Microsoft and Sony systems that make you install. But if you're talking about the history of games and physical gaming, there's like a million consoles where you didn't have to install anything. It's just the newer consoles. It's just Microsoft and Sony. So yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry about the spam on there, my view. Once again, it's supposed to come up every certain lines, but sometimes the chat goes so quick it comes up faster. So sorry about that. For the Streamlabs spam bot, but just ignore it. Don't worry about it, or you can ban it if you want to. It's the main reason why people push back on current tide of companies having ownership on games, even if you buy a license to access it. More jokes, the Game Preservation Society. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. No, it's all good. I mean, not everybody likes to see like 3 messages in a row on spam, like, hey, give me this, you know. So I got you on that one, man. Just sometimes it spazzes out. I remember the 7th gen where the games, well. My man Nick, fam, how you feeling, my boy Nick? How you doing, fam? Man. Psycho Pie with the $5. Let's
Correct
go.
me if I'm wrong, but if games were to run off the disk, with nowadays games, would games take a little bit longer to read and write if they're not using the SSD storage? Or am I off base here?
No.
Please pick a song to your liking.
No, you're actually 1000% right. The reason why they went from this, the reason why, is because the games were getting so advanced and the Blu-ray media is not fast enough to read the speed of it. It's not fast enough. So that was the way to get around it, because Sony did not evolve the Blu-ray media. The speed of the Blu-ray media, it's the speed of the Blu-ray media. The Wii U media is, I think, a bit faster than Blu-ray, or it's similar to it. But that's the problem, is that they never evolved the Blu-ray, like Blu-ray 2, where you can have like way faster read speeds. So yeah, an easy way to get around that is simply just make solid state. Solid state drives are much quicker, or hard drives are faster. So yes, that is the one of the primary reasons why that they do that. Absolutely, Psychopie. Thank you for the $5 dono. Combo breaks. We are so close, 4 combos away. Appreciate that. Yo, Nick says not too good. I'm heartbroken, devastated, and feel bamboozled. You know what? That was a little bit of a bamboozle win. You know what? Listen. It was a crazy game. Nick is a huge Rams fan. Obviously, I'm a big Niners fan. But you know what? Hey, look, it happens, bro. Sometimes you fumble. Sometimes you get Falcon punched at the 1-yard line. Because, I mean, Kyron Williams got Falcon punched. He got clubbed from a 6'6", 320-pound man. I mean, if Alfred Collins hit me like that, I don't think I'd stream for like a week or 2. You know what I'm saying? My man got Falcon punched. Like, it was a Falcon punch. It was crazy. Well, me and Nick had a bet. We had a bet of the Niners versus the Rams. And we had a bet that whoever would win, it was if he won the bet, if the Rams won, he would get $10 from me. But if the 49ers won, I would get $30 because I got 3-1 odds. It was only, he said 2-1, but I whined and complained. And then he said, okay, 3-1. So now I get $30. Now I get $30 from my man Nick. So let's go. Let's go. All right, let's see here. So I can show you guys this. My man got punched. Like, it was a one, and I'm not doing this to rub it in Nick's face. I just want to show you guys the meme, like what some people were doing on Twitter. It was like a falcon punch. You can't really see it right there, but like it's on the 1 yard line. And I'm going to show you guys the replay here. So right here, I'm going to freeze it. And this is why he feels bad. Look, they're about to score. The game is probably going to be over. They're not going to be able to stop, Mac Jones probably wouldn't have been able to score. And look at that. Oh my God. Oh, he just punched him in the face. Oh my God, he's just one punch man. Look at this. he just punched him. He just like literally knocked him out, bro. Oh man, yeah, one punch man, dude. He just hit him in the face, then hit the ball. And yeah, he just knocked that ball out. That was a clean haymaker, like a clean Mike Tyson. I don't even blame him for that because, I mean, look at his face mask. I mean, he's got to protect the ball better, but I played running back, so I know how this is. But here is the problem right here. So this is bad. This is good form. He's got two hands on the ball, but that's not how you carry the ball. You don't carry the ball like this. You carry the ball like this. So right here is bad form. So then see, like that you don't carry the ball like this, but look what happens. The reason why you carry the ball like this is so your elbows and your hand protect the outer edges of the football. That's why you don't carry the ball like this at the goal line. You carry the ball like this because if somebody swipes at you, it's going to hit your elbows. So if you carry like this, you got an elbow here, you got an elbow here. You're probably not going to fumble if somebody takes a swipe. That's what they teach you when you play running back. Look at this form. He's got the ball like this. There is a wide open spot at the top right here. So this is just bad technique from Kyron Williams, a professional running back. So look at that. And then right there, this is terrible technique. He doesn't even have two hands on the ball. It is a goal line situation. You are supposed to be having two hands on the ball. Yo, Nick 93. Ah!
I am a man of word. I got you.
Thank you so much, Nick 93. Thank you, and thank you for doing it through Streamlabs too. I appreciate that. Or thank you. So YouTube doesn't get that 30%. So, Nick, I'm like I said, I'm not trying to rub it in, Nick. I'm just trying to explain and try to tell people what happened, like with the meme and all that, right, Nick? So this is just bad technique. So Nick, what you need to do is that you need to go on the social media, man, of the Rams and say, yo, Kyron, listen, man, like you've had 11 fumbles, like in the last number of like games, like you've had a lot of fumbles. Like, you've got to have better technique than this. Like, you've got to drill it on. Like, as a running back, if people keep on telling you stop fumbling, trust me, you'll start making adjustments. So I would say don't harass him, but I will tell you, like, hey, look, as a fan, you got to say, hey, stop fumbling, man. Hold on to that ball because this is this is like pee-wee football. And I'm not even trying to do that like to be like mean. This is terrible from a professional running back. Once again, I'm nowhere near as good as Kyron Williams. I did not play in the NFL, but I can tell you this on the goal line, this is terrible. You're supposed to have two hands on that ball. There's a lot of big bodies here. The Rams have this blocked perfectly. Look at this lane. Look at this lane. There's like 4 yards. They blocked this thing. Look at this. Boom, boom. Warner's out. Everybody's just getting cooked. Even here, your guy fell right here. That's what gave Alfred Collins the way to do this. But Look at this. He's just looking. He needs to come here faster. I don't know what he's loafing for. He needs to get off that Puka Nacua block faster. So, like, what is he doing? Like, what is Renardo Green doing? He needs to be rushing in there for the hit. This is a loaf on Renardo Green's part. This is a loaf. But anyway, this is terrible technique. He does not have two hands on the ball. He should have two hands on the ball, and he just peels off of it, punches, gets smacked, and punched. It disorients him. I think literally when you're wearing your face mask, guys, for those who've never put on a face mask and played, if you get jarred, it feels like you're Samus getting hit like by a missile, like in Metroid Prime. Like, that's what it feels like. You feel like Samus, and because like you don't have all your vision, you've got bars, you know, and like when you get hit, it feels like you're like, you know, like you're in a suit getting rocked, and it throws you off. Anytime somebody grabs your face mask, moves your helmet, it's just uncomfortable. It's not good, and it can disorient, like, you know, your position. Bad technique combined with getting punched, rocked him a little bit, and then he hit the ball. I mean, he almost had no chance because of how poor the technique was. So, you know, like I said, the Rams should have won this game. He should have scored, you know, and, you know, there was some time left on the clock, but they probably should have won that game. But yeah, this is terrible technique. I would be complaining on the Rams social media if it was me, you know. So he needs to do better because he's a great running back. He's a good Pro Bowl back, and he's better than I've ever been. But that's something that I don't ever recall me getting clean hit on a goal line like that when I played. So he's got to have better ball or better ball protection. That is just reckless on his end. JoJo, let's go. Thank you for the big $30 dono, my man. We're going to count it towards it. I know it was a bet deal, but we're going to count it towards it anyway. Let's go. We're going to count it towards it. 126. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If I would have lost, I would have had to minus it from the from the stream. Oh man. So yeah, it was a one punch man, dude. It was a one punch man. But either way, he got cocky, thought he could score, didn't have to do all that. He didn't. He could have just put two hands and just almost waltzed right in. Thank you for the big 30 though, man. I appreciate you, big my man. Shout out to Nick93. I never looked at the forced fumble. I'm so glad you showed it. Otherwise, I would have missed it. This is great. Yeah. It was kind of hard to see in real time until you get like that back look and right at it. So, what's up, R. Castillo? Welcome. Good morning, man. Let's see here. This could have been awesome to have another tie. Maybe. But if they would have scored there, I think it would have been tough for Mac Jones to drive down the field with that pass rush, because that pass rush started beating the hell out of Mac Jones late in the game. So I think it would have been tough for the Niners to score late. So yeah. Then and then the overtime. Why go for the run against Stafford is hot. They did it against the Eagles too. They couldn't get a yard on fourth down. Yeah, I probably would have passed the ball, especially after the Kieran Williams fumble. I would have passed the ball. I would have passed it because give him a run pass option. Give him like a fake if it's good. If not, quick throw Puka or something like that, tight end, or Kieran slip out of the backfield. Yeah, I would have probably done that. But the Niners were getting shredded all game, and they're opening up some pretty good running lanes too for Kieran. So it's like, you know, either way, if they would have got the run, then it would have been like, okay, good call, you know. So yeah, he definitely Falcon punched the ball. So he definitely Falcon punched the ball. Let's see. Japan sales, not a flop, not true at all. Japan sales are good. The Japan sales for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, no, they're not that good because they're less than like 9,000. It's 8,000 something, barely 9,000. That's not very good for a new release. So yeah. Thank you so much, though. Shout out to General Zamora. Appreciate the combo break. And you guys know the deal. Platinum, we got here 42 platinums on the board. Let's get the limit break for my man. Cloud Stripes in the house. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, guys. So Barry Sanders had 41 career fumbles in his NFL career. That's tough. Relatively low. Dang. That's actually a lot. 41 times. He fumbled the ball 41 times. Did he really? That's actually a lot. That's way too many. Barry Sanders only played 10 years. That is actually way too many. Christian McCaffrey has played 10 years as well. And Christian McCaffrey has 11 fumbles. Barry Sanders, did he play 15? Barry Sanders did not play 15 years. Hold up. Barry Sanders career. I think he only played about 10 years. Career. Barry Sanders. Yeah, Barry Sanders, born July 16th, 1968, is a former American. He's my favorite running back of all time, by the way. One of my favorite players of all time. A former American or former professional football running back who played for the Detroit Lions in the National Football League for 10 seasons. Yeah. I mean, if Barry Sanders actually, I don't know if he did fumble that many times, but if he did, that's way too many. Like I said, Christian McCaffrey's played 10 years. This is Christian McCaffrey's 10th year, and he has, I think, 11 fumbles in his whole career, and he's played almost the same amount of time. So he would need 30 more fumbles somehow this year. For Christian McCaffrey would need 30 more fumbles. Like, no, that's way too many fumbles. I mean, even in 15 years, 41 fumbles is way too many. If I'm a running back, which I was a running back, if I fumbled 41 times in 15 years, I have not fumbled 41 times in like my 20-something years of playing football. Like, I have not fumbled that many times. I think I've probably fumbled maybe about 15, 16 times over like every year. There were some years I had no fumbles, where I had 0 fumbles in the year when I played. So, yeah, no, 41 fumbles is way too many, and I don't think he even had, that'd be crazy if he had that many fumbles. That's way too many. That's like, what's that? That's like 4 per year. 4 fumbles per year is way too much. I mean, the max should be 1 or 2. 1 fumble, maybe 2 fumbles per year. You have 3 or 4, they start looking at you funny. Trust me. I've seen, they start looking at you real funny. 1 fumble, if you're a good player, 1 fumble, okay. You fumble twice, they start looking at you like, bro, come on. Especially if you lose the fumble, oh my gosh, that's the worst feeling. Going back to the sideline, when you lose a fumble, nah, you don't want that to happen. Yes, the Niners are running CMC into the ground. You were right about that. But at least they're throwing it to him, so he's not banging it inside the tackles a lot. So I'd rather, if you're going to use CMC a lot, use him in the pass game a lot, because you're not going to take the same type of hits that you take in the running game. So at least that's a good thing. I think that'll extend his career. If they just, like, he's literally a receiver at this point. He's pretty much a receiver, CMC is. So I don't have a problem with that at all, because that's better for him. And I think that's why maybe he's not hurt yet. Now, if he was banging in the tackles every single time, getting 25, 30 carries a game, then yeah. But if you're passing it out to him, he's getting tackled by DBs and stuff like that, not linebackers, then it's a little bit better that way, you know? 4 years is terrible. Like I said, it doesn't sound bad, but 4 years is terrible. 4 years is absolutely awful. You will not last long in the NFL if you have 4 fumbles per year. You'll be out of the NFL within a year or two. If you fumble 4 times in a year and then you fumble again 4 times in a year, especially if that fumble leads to you losing the game, you will not last long. There are not many running backs in the league that can fumble 4 or 5 times in a year and still have a job. They will find some other young guy out of college that runs a 4.4 and he will replace you. Backs are like, the average career for a running back is like 3 years. Like, they replace them like toilet paper. So 4 fumbles is a lot. You will get replaced. Trust me. You will get replaced, even at the highest level. I've seen pro guys. Melvin Gordon was a great running back for the Chargers. Well, not great. He was a good running back. Went to the Broncos or something, fumbled like 2 or 3 times. He was out of the league. They benched him. And he was like a Pro Bowl running back for the Chargers. He signed a big deal with the Broncos. They just benched him. He was done. And he made a Pro Bowl. He's a good running back. Bro, you don't get many chances in this league, in the NFL. You don't get many chances, man. 4 fumbles? No, that's too many. Yeah, Steve Slayton was a great running back at West Virginia. Came into the league, couldn't hold on to the ball. They just were like, dudes, who cares if you ran a 4.4? We'll get somebody else that runs one. Like, you can't fumble the ball, guys. Like, I'm telling you, this is professional. This is not pee-wee football. This is not, oh, here we go, guys. This is millions of dollars, careers, legacies, on the line. You can't be fumbling the ball. You can't fumble the ball 4 times in a year. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I don't think Barry Sanders fumbled the ball 41. I don't know if he did fumble the ball 41 times. That just sounds crazy to me. But I mean, if you're as great as Barry Sanders, I mean, yeah, well, you can fumble. I mean, if he did, yeah, he can do that. But he's Barry Sanders because he'll make like he'll make like these incredible plays every single game that nobody else can make, you know? So dropping the ball is a little bit different than fumbling the ball, but it's similar. It can be similar. Like, yeah, like drops can be similar. Like if you drop the ball too many times, they're just gonna find somebody else, you know, to replace you. Google says it's not a lot. That is a lot, man. Nah, 41 fumbles is a lot. I don't, dude, that's a lot of fumbles. That is a lot of fumbles. Okay, Barry Sanders, career fumbles. Yeah, it says it says he fumbled 41 times. That is true. I am gonna say this though with Barry Sanders, because there was some times in his career where the offensive line was definitely not the best offensive line, and guys would be in the backfield before he even had a chance to get the ball or make a move. He was a flashy player that would change. I would have to see every fumble to see if they're all his faults. I did watch a ton of Barry Sanders back in the day, and I don't recall him fumbling so much. Yeah, that's not great. That's not 41 fumbles is not great. Averaging 4 fumbles a year is not good. That's Barry Sanders will even tell you that that's not good. It's really not. Is Juice Man Vaughn here? What up, Juice Man Vaughn? I thought I saw. Yeah, Juice is here. Imagine how the Ravens feel about Derrick Henry right now. I know Derrick Henry. How many? I think he has what, 3 fumbles in a row. That's already too many. Did you see how? Let me give you guys a perfect example. Derrick Henry fumbled 3 times in a row, and he's on pace to fumble way more than that, right? And how did he feel after each fumble? He had like an episode. He like slammed his helmet. You know, this is a 6'3", 250-pound man, and like he threw a temper tantrum like a little child. He and swung his body, you know, and like the momentum from him slamming his helmet took his body with him almost into the bench, and like he keeled over a little bit. And it's like Kyron Williams fumbled on the 1-yard line, right? And he looked like he was about to cry. He was like, he looked like he was about to cry, dude. He was like, I'm telling you guys, any running back will tell you, bro, you fumble 4 times in a year. Trust me, that is not good. There's not a single running back like, oh yeah, that's okay. No, they're all gonna be like, dude, this is like the worst feeling in the world. This is terrible. Like seriously, go back and look. Like literally, looked like he was crying on the sideline. Like he was like, I felt bad, you know, like. So it's like, yeah, he did it against the Eagles in the playoffs too. I mean, he's cost you guys. Honestly, it's probably time to move on, Nick. to keep it a buck, he's okay, but it's probably time. It's probably time to play Corum, although Corum had a fumble too. But it's probably time to just draft the new running back, and you know, let that person play. I think that he's good, but I'm not sure if it's worth the fumbles at this point, because once again, it's costing you guys big. Yeah, I think it might be time to move on. He also had a few drops too, like a dropper, some pretty big drops as well. So it might be time to move on. He's a good player, but I would consider drafting a running back and bringing in some competition to get him a little bit more motivated. Although they did draft the Corum kid, you know, so there is that too. But yeah. Fumbling at the goal line makes it worse. Damn near a sin. Yeah, it pretty much is. And like I said, any running back, like, if you fumble at the goal line when you're about to score, that's actually worth like 2 or 3 fumbles. So yeah. Emmett had 61, maybe. Okay, well, Emmett played like 20 years. Well, he didn't. He played like 15, 16 years. So, I mean, Emmett having 61, I mean, that's a lot. But, like, that was physical football. And they also didn't have, sorry for the noise once again. Back then, they didn't have replay assistance. I would probably be, like, I bet you anything, a lot of these fumbles, their knees were down. But there were or their knee was down or something. But there was no replay assistance. So I'm not even going to sit here and trust every single fumble from back in the day. Because back in the day, there was no replay assistance. Like, how many times do we see fumbles overturned or whatever? But back then there was none. They just have to call it right there. So I'd probably I'm just gonna, for the sake of fairness with no replay assistance, I'm gonna take away at least 10 fumbles, 5 to 10 fumbles from each of them. So yeah. Let's see here. I got a question. Do you watch Digital Foundry video talking about Switch 2? They use two deal. Yes, I did watch the Digital Foundry video where they're talking about two separate forms of DLSS, and I have no idea what they were talking about for the most part. Like, I get it, but it's like, all I care about is the end results. But yeah, that was a very interesting video for sure. Just picked up your copies of Galaxies. Me too. Check this out, guys. Yeah, boy. I got my copy of Galaxy. It's still sealed. I almost kind of like don't want to open it because I want to keep a copy sealed. And probably just get the digital downloads or whatever. But yeah. 90 fumbles each. That's a lot too, man. That's too much. 90 fumbles. What? How do you have 90 fumbles? That's insane, dude. That's too much. Oh man. Also, games played would affect the stat if you fumble 3 times a year, but you're always in the playoffs or Super Bowl. Yeah, that's true. If you play more games, that can also affect how many you do. Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, absolutely. The problem is that Kieran Williams is nowhere near as good as Barry Sanders. He's nowhere near as good as somebody like Tony Dorsett or Franco Harris. Like, he's not as good as those guys. So his fumbling is a problem. He's not as good as those guys. If he was as good as Barry Sanders, the Rams would have absolutely smoked the 49ers last night. But fortunately, there is literally nobody as good as Barry Sanders. Like, literally, he's a one-of-a-kind talent. So the NFL defenses will be spared from somebody as good as Barry Sanders because there's literally nobody as good as Barry Sanders ever to do it. He's like the greatest. So, yeah. Let's see here. I'm watching Bijan Robertson. He's a beast, running back, juking defenders. Backup Tyler Algier is not bad. Oh, yeah, they're both good. Like a bowling ball just smacks you. Yeah, they're both good. You have high standards, bro. Every running back has the same standards that I have. They would all say the same thing. They would all say the same thing. Let me give, like I said, check this out, guys. Check this out. Christian McCaffrey fumbles. Christian McCaffrey he's been in the NFL for 10 years and he's fumbled 13 times in his 10 years. So that is the standard of what an NFL, like, if you really want to be like, what would the standard be? Would be like, you want to have maybe, like I said, maybe 1 fumble a year, maybe 2. You don't want to have anything more. He has 13 to 14 fumbles and he's played 9 years. This is his 9th year. Actually, no. And then this upcoming year. So 10th year. So he has about like that's about what you're supposed to have, 1 or 2 fumbles per year. 1 fumble, maybe 2 fumbles. Like, you're not supposed to have, multiple fumbles. He had 1 year in 2018. He had a 4 fumble year. He had 2 fumbles 1 year. Okay, so from 2017, 2 fumbles, 4 fumbles, 1 fumble, 0 fumbles, 1-1, 3-1-1. So yeah, it's supposed to be, that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be 4 per year. I mean, like, that should be like if it happens, okay, but Christian McCaffrey's a special talent. But yeah, you should have either 1 or 0. Look at, or 2 at the highest. Look at how many years he has 2 or lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of his 9 years, he has 2 or lower. That is the standard. That should be okay. That is what you're supposed to be looking for. And once again, and any running back will tell you the same thing. There's not a single running back that plays in the NFL, I know this, that would say, oh yeah, it's okay to fumble 4 times in a year. No, there's not a single one. Everyone would be like, no, like 1, maybe 2. Anything more than 2 per year, and that's too much. That's too much. All right, take it easy, Gloria. Thanks for coming out to the stream. Have a nice night. Let's see. The way you explain football, OG, is really cool. I know nothing about football, and it makes me feel like I'm there. I'm glad. I'm glad that I can explain it to you guys, because football is really complicated and boring for the most part. Football's very boring if you just talk about it normally. I used to almost fall asleep in chalk talk. But if you do it in a different way, like where you, like, put a little bit of entertainment value to it, make some jokes every now and then. It's a lot more fun to talk about. In your opinion, how many sacks is considered too much? How many sacks? You mean giving up sacks? Or you're talking, so you can never have too many sacks. Like, you can never have too many sacks. So, how many games has he missed each season? He might have not had many fumbles if he had not played due to... That's true. That's true. That's also true. Chrono Reed with $5 dono says, not saying they're bad games, but Sonic fan base and Digimon fan and Pokemon haters that does where going to outsell Mario Kart and Legends is crazy. Yeah, I mean, anybody who thought that's kind of crazy, Chrono Rig. Yeah, I see what you're saying, brother. Yeah, that's wild. That wasn't gonna happen. That wasn't gonna happen. But shout outs though. Appreciate that, Chrono Rig. Thank you for the $5 dono. We're at 133 combo breaker. What is that? How many combos away from that? That is like what, 18? No, 17? We are 17 combos away from a platinum and a half. Let's go. Chrono Trigger music blaring. JoJo Friday in the house. Hey yo, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. I also forgot to play a JoJo on Nick's $30. So we're gonna go ahead and play that too. So here we go. Shout out to the JoJo Friday boys. Let's go. Rams have the most sacks going into the game, and they barely got 1 or 2. I think they got 1 sack, and I think it was in overtime. So yeah, Mac gets the ball out. If that was Brock Purdy, they probably would have got 2 or 3 sacks because Brock likes to scramble and run around too much at times. But the Niners' offensive line is, I would say it's a bit above average. It's mediocre. Okay. You guys' defensive line is way better, you know. But listen, there's still another game. The NFC West is not over by a country mile. We're just getting going, man. So it's not over by a country mile, man. There's still another game, you know, to play. There's still more football to be had. There's still schedules to be had. There's still games to be played, man. It's not over at all. Not even close. Jim Brown fumbled 57 times. That's too many. But once again, I think they played in an era where there was no instant replay, so you couldn't tell if the knee was down or not. So I think a lot of those fumbles are probably not actually fumbles. Their knee was down, but, you know, whatever. How many sacks for a QB gets before it's considered too much is what I'm asking. How many sacks? I'm not as familiar with that, but I would say anytime that if a QB gets sacked, let's say if they average, like, let's say 2 sacks per game, so over the course of a season, that's like 30-something sacks. That's too many. There should be at least only at the 1 sack per game, maybe 1 sack, maybe 2 sacks, but anything 2 or more, it's too much, and it's not good. 2 or more sacks per game is too much, not good. Let's see. I know, but the way that we lost to the Eagles and Niners is insane. Well, it should be 5-0. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, the Niners could be 0-5 right now, and if the ball bounces one other type of way, like they almost lost to the Saints, they almost lost to the Rams, they almost lost to pretty much everybody. They did lose to the Jaguars, you know. So it's like these games, the NFL, it's like it's. Last year, Niners lost every 1-score game. Like, I think they won like maybe 1 or 2 1-score games. But the Niners pretty much lost almost every single 1-score game last year. This year, they have way more. Last year, they won 1 divisional game. This year, they tripled their divisional wins. Last year, they beat the Seahawks, I think, 1 time. They lost to the Rams twice. They lost to the Cardinals twice. They lost to the Seahawks at the end. So, I mean, every year, it's a game of inches, man. It's a game of inches. If that ball goes up a little bit higher, they don't block the field goal right. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, Nick. Like, it's luck and it's skill. It's a lot of skill. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of preparation, but it's also a lot of luck. It's also a lot. There is just some things that the ball bounces your way sometimes, you know. That's really what it comes down to. The refs blow the whistle a little bit early. Sometimes they don't. You know, that's just all it comes down. It's a game of inches, as they say, you know. But they also say this: luck is when hard work meets opportunity. So that's why you gotta hustle. You gotta play hard every single time, right? That one punch, man, that was lucky. But that's when hard work. He kept on going. He could have quit, right? He could have just whatever. He could have just tried to tackle him normal, you know, try to get him out. But when hard work, when you learn and you do you go through your progression, you know that you need to punch the ball out, that you need to make a play for your team. That is hard work meeting opportunity, which created a little bit of luck. So I will say that. Was it lucky? Yes, it was a lucky 1 yard line fumble, but it was also hard work meeting the opportunity that created that turnover. So there's also that too, you know, because if he doesn't one punch man him, which not every D lineman does that. Some of them don't do that, you know, but he did it. So yeah, CMC did what I was scared of, but CMC did that. But bro, Bourne ripped you guys, bro. Bourne, y'all let Bourne go off for like 10 receptions for like 180 yards or 150. Bourne ripped you guys. He ripped you guys a new one. Yeah, CMC was dealing, but man, Bourne had so many big clutch catches. Yeah, he turned into Jennings out of nowhere. That was crazy because Bourne had such a terrible game against the Jaguars, man. It was so bad. So, one thing that drives me crazy is watching offensive line and the shotgun or the pistol formation on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, run the ball up the middle, do that QB sneak. Falcons did a lot. Well, here's the thing. That's what the Rams thought, that you can just run the ball in I formation. They had all their tight ends, and they got blown up in the backfield to lose the game. So, yes, I agree with you, 91 Gamer Boy, but sometimes it doesn't work, man. Like, sometimes you run the ball up the middle, and you just get blown up. Like the Niners, they just blew him up in the backfield. Warner hit the C gap. What was it? Gosh, I forgot what the kid is. There's a rookie, Lucas. Lucas came and jammed up a big old tight end, and then Siegel comes flying in from the safety spot and just throws him backward. And they ran the ball right up the middle with their Pro Bowl running back. You know, so I don't know, man. This is Mewmore Bloody Tears, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest remix from Mewmore. So, remember the fumble on the goal line in the Ravens-Chiefs game last year? Oh, yeah. Yeah, what was that? That was Zay, right? He just, once again, just a lucky fumble in the goal line, just punched it out. Ravens maybe probably would have won that game if that didn't happen, you know? The Bears try to QB sneak on my lines in 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, end up turning over. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it works. I mean, like the Eagles are like the only team that can do like the tush push and get it every single time. Although the Niners did do their version of the Mac Jones, Mac Daddy push. They did the Mac Daddy push as well, the mac and cheese push. So, oh man, football is interesting. If you guys have questions too, you can tag me at Player Essence, hashtag Player Essence, Player Essence by itself. More than happy to answer all of your beautiful, awesome, lovely, elite ninja questions. So feel free to ask me your gaming questions as well. So feel free to ask those gaming questions, guys. Let me know. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah. Mac Jones is going to be good for the Niners. He was great for Alabama, won the Natty too. Yeah, he did win the Natty at Alabama. The Niners should have drafted him, man. They really should have drafted him. I thought they were going to draft him. They drafted Trey Lance instead. And you know what? To be honest, if the Niners drafted Mac Jones and they developed him in Shanahan's system, I think they would have won the Super Bowl by now. I honestly think they would have had a hot shot quarterback that ran that offense with Kittle and all those boys and CMC, and I think they would have probably won the Super Bowl at this point if they would have done that. But drafting Trey Lance and then having to do the Garoppolo come back and then having Purdy, it just, man, like they should have won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They should have won it, but they didn't. And if they would have drafted Mac Jones, I'm pretty sure they probably would have won it sometime between now and then with that roster that they have, and Mac Jones developing in that system from a rookie, you know. So whatever. Watch the DLSS breakdown. I did watch it. It's pretty cool, but it's just a lot of technical gobbledygook. OJ, I noticed Resident Evil Requiem is not available to pre-order in America yet. Have you heard anything about pre-orders go live? I haven't heard anything about that, Evelyn's World. I think maybe closer to launch, the pre-orders will go live, yeah. So maybe early next year or late this year. If you trusted Jimmy G, you would have had the Super Bowl. I know, seriously. If I trusted, we trusted Jimmy G. Back in 2020, we trusted Jimmy G. And what did he do? Get the ball batted down, got sacked, and the Niners somehow lost that game. They were up by like 10 points in the fourth quarter and lost the game by like 14 points. That's what Jimmy G gets you. That's what P-Star Jimmy G gets you. Nothing. Niners should have never been in the position to need Jimmy G to make that throw. Well, yeah, they should have ran the ball. They were actually doing they were getting 4 to 5 yards per carry, and for some reason, Shanahan just went away from the run with Mostert, fastest running back in the league at the time. 4.3 40 guy, nearly 4.2. They just stopped giving the ball to Mostert at the end of the game. I don't know why. They could have, but they just stopped. Stupid. Yeah, exactly. Shanahan just started throwing the ball all over the place. And it wasn't like he was even doing that great, but whatever. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? To be fair to Mac Jones, the situation in New England was a disaster. He had a defensive coordinator calling plays. Yep. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Actually, I'm giving Mac Jones a compliment. I'm saying that if he was with Shanahan from the beginning, they could have maximized his talent, and he would have probably won a Super Bowl by this point. Mac Jones is a good quarterback. Everybody that knows ball knows that Mac Jones was not bad. It was that New England situation was bad. It was a bad team with the bad defense and just not a good situation, like not a good QB environment for him to grow. When they signed Mac Jones, I was very happy when they signed Mac Jones. I was like, that's a good signing because he's not a bad player. He can throw the ball. We saw that. He made a Pro Bowl in his rookie year. He made a Pro Bowl. So if he made a Pro Bowl for the New England Patriots in his rookie year, imagine what he would have done for the Niners in his rookie year, or he would have done in the second year if he takes over. Imagine what he would have done there. If he was a Pro Bowler with the freaking Patriots, he would have been a multi-Pro Bowler with the 49ers. Right now, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's a backup. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Mac was actually good, and if he would have been drafted by the team that actually develops quarterbacks better, he would have been making $60 million a year right now. You know, he would have been if Shanahan didn't Shanahan, you know, and draft Trey Lance. I don't know why they drafted Trey Lance. Now, was I excited about him? Yes, I was excited about the potential for dual threat, but I was always worried about the fact that Trey Lance did not play a lot of college football. He only played 1 year at a smaller school, and that was it. Like, I was like, man, is that enough? You know, I liked Mac Jones. I was like, hey, look, Mac Jones won a national championship. Like, you know, so yeah, anyway, whatever. What's done is done. I think we're at 42 on the platinum streak as well. If you guys have video game questions, if you don't want to hear me talk about boring football, you can ask me video game questions too if you want. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to keep the job when Purdy's healthy? No, because Purdy makes too much money. They can't, you know, they can't. Purdy's due for like 90 million next year or something like that. Like in the next year or two. I think it's like 60 million, 90 million. It's like they can't. You just can't, you know, so that's the problem right now. If he can somehow sign Mac Jones again and wait out Purdy's contract to like the last year or two, I think they can get out of it then, but somebody's going to come a-calling. Like, just like Darnold, somebody's going to offer Mac a starting position and like $20 million in the next year or two. They signed Mac Jones for 2 years, so technically he has to stay for that second year. But what I'm guessing is that if somebody really wants him, the Niners can get like a first round pick, or if they can get like a second round pick for Mac Jones, I'm almost positive they'll trade him. If they can get like a second or first round pick. If I'm Shanahan, I don't trade nothing. I want a first round pick from him. You want Mac Jones? He's a first round talent. I need a first round pick. So, because it's a quarterback. So I wouldn't trade him for anything but a first round pick. You want him? Sure. Give me a first round pick. Because he signed for 2 years. So Mac getting a deal with the Jets. Yeah, once again, if the Jets want Mac Jones, sure, no problem. I'll give you Mac Jones, but give me a first round pick. And I want the Jets first round pick too, because they're bad. So they're not good. And once again, I don't think they'd give up their first round pick. But if they wanted to offer their first round pick for Mac Jones, I would sign me up for that because they're probably gonna have like a top 5 pick this year, you know, so, or at least a top 10 pick this year. They're 0-4, so I'll take that from them, you know. Tennessee. Oh no, Tennessee just drafted Cam Ward. So yeah, no, Tennessee doesn't need a quarterback. They got a good quarterback. Purdy does get hurt a lot, so it's good to have Mac. Exactly. You need two good quarterbacks in this league, especially if you have a tiny little guy like Brock Purdy at quarterback. You need 2 good quarterbacks because he's gonna get hurt. I mean, most quarterbacks get hurt, you know, like almost all quarterbacks miss time at some point, you know. So yeah, you need to, in this league, you actually need 2 good quarterbacks. Have a question. They're giving Bengals 10.5. Should it be more? Bengals 10.5. It should be more, man. Bengals, they're not very good without Joe Burrow. You're not getting the first for him, then that's fine. Not getting the first, then have a seat, Mac. You could be the backup for another year then. Thank you very much. You signed a 2-year deal. 2 years, $7 million. So go ahead and play out the rest of your deal then, buddy. I'm not taking it. I mean, maybe a high second round pick. Maybe I'll give up a high second round pick because then maybe I can just draft another quarterback, right? But no, I'm not giving up anything more than like a high second round pick, mid to high second round pick at the furthest, or a first round pick. He's a first round talent. I need a first round pick, and he's only 25. He's like 24. He's like 24, 25 years old. No, I need a first round pick. You're getting a first round quarterback. I need a first round pick. I'm sorry. You want him off my hands because he signed under contract. I need a first round pick, fam. I need a first round pick. How desperate are you? Let's see here. I loved how Goff moved in the pocket so far, but I won't pretend that he won't get hit from time to time. Brain doesn't go down. Yeah, he's not very mobile. There was a storm today where I live, Ireland. Oh, you're in Ireland. Hey, shout outs to Ireland. Let's go. 100-mile-an-hour winds. Oh my goodness. My power cut off for 15 minutes before the end of the work. Oh my god. I'm glad that you're okay, zombie tech pad. Oh my. 100-mile-an-hour winds. Crazy. Madden games aren't even this fun. That's funny. Let's see here. They could try to trade Purdy, but maybe nah. Nobody's gonna take Purdy with that contract. There's not a single team in the league that'll take Purdy with his contract. Hell no. That contract is beefy, bro. He's getting paid like 50. It's like 50. It averages 50 million a year. Man, ain't nobody paying that for Purdy. No, not with that contract, man. No. Let's see here. Who's even coming out this draft? If he shines, he might get a first rounder. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know who's coming out. I know there's some good quarterbacks, but I'm not sure who's coming out. I think everyone's waiting on that kid from Michigan, like that tall black kid. Looks pretty good. But he's like, I think he's a true freshman, but I think he might be the first pick in the draft in the next couple of years. At what point in the Switch 1's life did people start to believe in it? Because Switch 2 has sold basically 3 million every month. It wasn't until people really started believing in the Switch 2. It wasn't until I would say it wasn't until the end of the year when Mario Odyssey came out, and like when Xenoblade came out, and then the holiday sales were there, and they did like the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle, and it sold really good, and we're like, oh, okay, hold up, you know. That's when people were like, all right, hold up here. This is doing pretty good, you know, this is gonna be something. But there were even people in 2018 that felt that the Switch 1 was still gonna fail. Like, we had videos from people that thought it was gonna fail in 2018, so. But yeah, it probably wasn't until late 2017, 2018 when people started realizing, like, okay, this is gonna be something, you know. So yeah. The Niners would have to attach a first to trade Purdy. Attach a first? Yeah, they'd have to attach something. Exactly, old. They'd have to attach like maybe like a second or third round pick. They'd have to give them something else, or like another player or something like that, because Purdy's contract is just, I mean, he fits the Niners and what they do, but he doesn't really fit. I mean, who's looking for a small barely 6 foot quarterback? Like, and Nobody signs up for that. That's a 7th round draft pick. I mean, is he good? Yes, he's good within Shanahan's system. But what NFL team's like, oh yeah, give me a 6 foot, 7th round draft pick that played good within Shanahan's incredible offense. I'll take that for $50 million. There's not a single team that'll do that. There's not a single team in the NFL. Now, will somebody else pay him lower? Yes. If the Niners didn't want to pay Purdy, and let's just say he hit the free agent market, will somebody pay him $30 million or $40 million to be their quarterback? Yeah, somebody would have paid him $30 to $40 million to be their quarterback, But will anybody willingly pay him 50-something million to be their quarterback? No, there's not a single team. He would have got like a Baker Mayfield, dude, like a 3-year, $100 million, like 30-something million per year. Most teams, almost every team would be like, no, we're not paying you that much. I would say there'd barely be any teams that actually want him. Maybe the Jets, maybe the Steelers. The Steelers might. Steelers, Jets. There wouldn't. Maybe the Panthers, but they still have Bryce Young. I'm not sure if they're going to move off him. I mean, you got one little quarterback for another little quarterback. So there wouldn't be many teams that would actually pay Purdy, to be honest. Purdy would have to be like Carson Wentz for him to get traded. Same scenario. Yeah. Just look at how well the Panthers are doing with their 5'9" QB. Listen, I said this and I said this before. He's too little. Like I said, he's great. Little guys can do good sometimes, but when the rubber meets the road, he's too small. Like, that's why it's so herky-jerky. Sometimes he looks incredible when they make throwing lanes for him being little, but a lot of times there's no throwing lanes. He's too short. He's too short. He's too short. Bryce Young is too short, which I hate to say it, but I think if he was in the Niners offense, I think it could work, because of the design, but they need to bring somebody in that'll help this young man. They need to bring somebody in that'll help this. If Shanahan had Bryce Young, I think he'd be playing a lot better because Shanahan can play with little quarterbacks. Shanahan can do that. He's done it before, right? He's done it with Purdy. He's had little quarterbacks. So, but like, it's too hard you can't see over the line. Dude, let me give you guys some context. Bro, I was playing no pads tackle football before Thanksgiving. Like, there used to be like a little thing where people would go out there and play tackle football before Thanksgiving Day, or before, like in the morning before you eat Thanksgiving with your family, you go play tackle football with a bunch of people at a park. Dude, I was playing quarterback at a park with guys that were nowhere near as big. And bro, I couldn't see over the line. And these guys were shorter than me. Some they were like 6 foot. Bro, I'm like 5'9", but I was having trouble throwing the ball to people. Why did I feel like it was moving too fast? I can only imagine having a line that's all 6'6", 6 foot something, and being 5'10" and trying to throw the ball. He's too short. He's too short. It was crazy, Yeah, but once again, Drew Brees had Sean Payton. Sean Payton can do that. So yeah, Drew Brees had Sean Payton. So yeah. Not to mention the endless, we need Switch 2. We'll Switch Pro now. One thing I love about Mac Jones and Jalen Hurts is consistency, the way they're able to compete, throw passes to small windows, defenses, how to win big games. Yeah. Mike Bond kept his faith for saying Switch 1 would fail pretty far into its lifetime before Switch 2 was announced, even years into domination of sales. Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, but I'm like, in terms of like the mainstream media, I think the mainstream media, a lot of people still said like the Switch 1 could fail. Even in 2017, they were saying that, but obviously it wasn't going to happen, So yeah. So obviously it wasn't going to happen. When do you think Smash 6 will drop? I'm thinking an early reveal 2026 in either late 2026 or early 2027. That's hard to say. I'm not sure when it'll drop though, I'll be honest. Like, I think that, yeah, maybe even 2027 or 2026 reveal late and then early 2027 launch, like Smash Brothers Brawl. I think that could be a thing. Let's see here. Breeze was good with the Chargers. Yeah, he was good with the Chargers, but he was way better with the Saints. I think he took it to the next level with the Saints, and he won a Super Bowl. So yeah, Sean Payton would work. I think Bryce Young could be better than Bo Nix. Could be. From a talent perspective, could be. But Bo Nix is bigger, so I wouldn't go. I wouldn't get rid of Bo Nix to go with Bryce Young. Av V, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Do you think he's working on both games at the same time? Yes. I think that Kirby Air Riders is done. That game's done, and it's probably been done for a while. And I think that yeah, Kirby Air Riders is done. And I think that he's already got the proposal in for Super Smash Brothers, the next one, and he's probably already working on it. Yep. Yeah. He's already got somebody working on it. So yeah. Yeah, he hit another level at New Orleans. Oh, yeah. Another level at New Orleans. Another level. We need Smash Arc. We do and we don't. Like, I'm dreading the new Smash Arc because people are going to be acting absolutely insane. You know, people are going to be acting absolutely insane when it comes down to it, you know? So yeah. But it's a good problem to have. It's like having Mac Jones and Brock Purdy. Is there a problem having two good quarterbacks? I mean, yeah, one of them can't play, but still, it's a good thing to have. So yeah. It's a good problem to have. Let's see, what do you think of Final Fantasy Tactics picking it up? I have a review code for it, and I need to get it on my Switch too. But it's like I have too many games to play, man. But I do think it's awesome from what I've seen. I have way too many games. I'm playing Trails in the Sky right now. I can't play all of it. It's just overwhelming. So yeah. Also surprised Mario Kart 1 hasn't received any DLC. I'm not surprised that it's going to take them a little bit more time to get DLC. When the original Mario Kart 8 came out, DLC didn't come out 3 months later. So I'm not really surprised right now. I think that you're just used to everybody else just doing DLC almost instantly. But Mario Kart always, if they're going to do DLC, which they haven't really done DLC many times, it's going to take some time, and it's going to be substantial DLC. It's going to be multiple courses. It's going to be a lot of stuff. It's not just going to be real quick DLC that they put out. So yeah. How does that work? Review codes? They email me and they give me a code. It's as simple as it sounds. Yeah, Mario Kart's gonna have big DLC, but it's only been 3 months or so. I mean, I thought maybe they would have talked about it by now at this point. That it's potentially like it's gonna be there. Like, hey, we're working on it. Like, I didn't think that they're gonna drop it like right now at this point. But I think next year is a prime candidate. But if you're looking at Mario Kart 8, that DLC, I think it came out like a year after. Does anybody remember exactly when the DLC for Mario Kart 8 came out? Mario Kart 8 Wii U first DLC date. Let's take a look. So yeah. Okay, yeah, the first DLC pack for Mario Kart 8 on Wii U was released on November 13th, 2014. So, the game came out, when did the game came out in, I think it was May, right? Or was it 8? I forgot exactly when Mario Kart 8, so about 6 months or so. So yeah, I would expect it to be early 20, I expect it to be early next year. They'll probably talk about it. So yeah, fall 2014. Yeah, fall 2014. So May 30th. So I mean, yeah, definitely about 5-6 months for DLC. So I think that they're just trying to get the launch of the system out. I mean, by the time that Mario Kart 8, came out, the Wii U was going on its second year on the market. The Switch 2 just came out. So I think that they're just saying, hey, look, we got Mario Kart. We got that game. It's already $80 before we start charging for DLC and all this. Let's give it a little bit. I think it's a little bit different when you charge the 80 for it, right? So I think that they're probably saying, hey, let's wait a little bit. Let's work on some substantial DLC and let's actually have a plan. Because I think that they actually have to have a good plan here, because people are going to be like, if they release DLC now, they're going to be like $80 plus DLC plus 15 or 20. People are going to be like acting crazy. So I think it's better to just kind of fix the game, get the updates, fix the game better, make it better, and then really just drop the DLC next year and let it be substantial. And I don't know what the price is going to be, but I mean, I hope it's not anything crazy. But you already know the headlines are going to be like $90, $100 for Mario Kart, so that's not going to be good. Don't look at Sonic DLC. I mean, you're not allowed to criticize that. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah. So I found this post to be pretty funny too. Let's see. Oh, a lot of people attacked your Sonic tweet was funny. The funniest thing about my Sonic tweet, which I kind of want to make a video about it. Let's play some banger Sonic music. Best Sonic music. All right, let's play some Sonic music. Here we go. All right, hold up. Let me do this. All right, let me do this. So I kind of want to talk about this just a little bit. I think I want to make a clip too. Maybe I'll make a short or something. You guys can watch that later. Let's talk about Sonic real quick. Give me a second here and let me get this post up, so I can get like a little reaction to my post about what happened with Sonic. Let's go. So, oh man, we had an interesting. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Okay. So we had a very interesting situation with Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, where people were a little bit upset with what I had to say about the game. So Sonic Racing CrossWorlds seems to have flopped. I said that seems to have flopped, opening up at 5,571 copies on the Switch 1, not including digital. The PS5 version didn't chart in the top 10. Mario Kart World sold 6 times more for the week, 35,000 units. The US sales for Sonic should be much better though. So I guess that caused some controversy, but I want to know what you guys think. Remember, it was just the Nintendo Switch 1 with these sales. We did get the extra top 30 sales. I think the PS5, it charted like around 2,000 something at number 24 for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. So we're looking at under 10,000 units for its debut week, which isn't very great. But that doesn't mean Sonic doesn't have a chance to do really well. Like, yes, it's going to lose to Mario Kart World when it comes to sales. We all knew that. But it still has the opportunity to do really well as the kart racing genre. I mean, there's a kart racers out there, but a lot of them don't really sell like crazy or anything like that. It's really just Mario Kart by itself overall. So I think Sonic has kind of carved out its own little niche there. But yeah, the opening sales, retail only, not digital, not so good starting out for Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. We also know that in Europe, or not Europe, but in the UK, it was actually below Mario Kart World as well. So you can also factor that in. Obviously, Mario Kart World is on a much smaller install base than on Switch 1 and PlayStation 5 and Xbox and all of that. So once again, it doesn't include digital though, so digital sales could be pretty good. Plus Steam, there's also Steam, which we did get a overall with Steam. I mean, we did see that Steam was, what was it? 13,000 plus for like a peak, but there are some people that are saying, well, wait a minute, no, it's doing okay, like based off of some of the other sales numbers or sales positioning from like Sonic Superstars or something like that. I don't know. So there is that. But what do you guys think? You guys can let me know when it comes down to it with Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. And are you having fun? That's the biggest thing. Are you having fun with the game? Okay. We got to talk about this. So I had this. So yeah, this tweet kind of started out small, but then it kind of blew up bigger and bigger and bigger with the tweet. Like it blew up like bigger and bigger with this tweet. And yeah, I got a lot of people with this whole Sonic Racing CrossWorlds thing. I got a lot of people actually upset at me. I think it'd be a good time maybe if we talk about it, if we address what some people were saying towards me in the comments here. So I think usually things are going bad for you on Twitter when you look at like the quote tweets and you have like a bunch of quote tweets. That's how you know like things are okay. So I do want to go over some of the ones that were like upset, or maybe some people that felt like I was being misleading or other things like that, just to be fair, right, overall. So I'm not going to go over the stuff of people saying that, that they agreed with me, because that's not fun. So let's talk about this. Let's see here. Okay, even Enel quoted my tweet. That's the Xenoblade guy. Even he quoted that tweet. All right, let's take a look. Oh, there's a lot more people out here. Oh my god, how many more people quote tweeted me? Hold up. A lot of people quote tweeted me on this one that were like agreeing with me or just saying, okay, I saw a lot more people being negative on the quote tweets than I am right now. But we did everything right this time. I want to say this to this one right here. Did you guys do everything right this time? This right here, did you guys do everything right? I don't know, man. A lot of you guys antagonized Mario Kart players. I think you should have been like, yo, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is dope. This game is fast. It feels like 200cc or whatever. Like, you guys should like check it out. Like, you should have been posting the RV, and like spamming the RV, the and all that. And like, I don't know if it was a good idea of Sega to do what Sega did. Like, I love that old commercial and all that. Like, I loved it because I was old school back in the day. I grew up in the Sega Nintendo console wars, so I thought it was funny. But looking back, bro, I think they poked a bear, bro. I think y'all poked a bear, and a lot of people just said, man, I ain't gonna buy this. I think some, not everybody. I think there's still obviously a lot of people that bought the game, and it's gonna do fine overall. But I don't know, man. I don't know if they did everything right, though. I think y'all poked a bear one too many times. All right, let's see here. Yeah, a lot more people are agreeing with me now at this point. That's crazy. Let's see here. Yeah, that's wild. Sorry about my phone, guys. My phone, for some reason, is going crazy. They're disagreeing with me over here. So, Japan has terrible taste. Yeah, everyone's just saying that Japan just sucks, or just like I saw a lot more negative quote tweets than this, guys. I don't know what happened, but something must have happened with these, because it was literally people just telling me how stupid well, not how stupid I am, but just like disagreeing. Now it's everybody just saying, oh, well, nobody likes Sonic in Japan, Okay, look at this one. And since when do Japanese people have a say when it comes to video games, brother? Is this like a racist or like xenophobic tweet? Like, what do you mean? Like, why wouldn't Japanese people have any say when it, like, Sega's a Japanese company? Like, what? Like, the people that made Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, they're Japanese, dude. So I don't know what's going on there. Would have outsold Mario Kart, or would have outsold Mario if Sega would have gave us a new Riders game instead of Timu Mario Kart. Okay, that's not nice what that person said. Okay, this one's interesting. Top 10 for a Sonic game in Japan is honestly pretty big deal because it's been flopping for years. The Sonic 3 film performed subpar by our standards in Japan, but it performed better than 1 and 2, showing the rise in popularity. This is honestly Sonic's renaissance. So, okay, so I've seen people say this, and like, when you look at the Japanese sales, you shouldn't focus on the position. You should focus on the actual number being sold. Because sometimes there's slow weeks where there's not a lot of games that sell as much or anything. So you shouldn't focus on the position. You should focus on the number, and then you should focus on how old is the game. If the game is a launch game, it's the first one, it's, you know, it's at launch, it's a big new release, you want to focus on the number, okay, not the position. The number is low for like a first week. The number is low because if you're looking at it, you've got games like Donkey Kong Bonanza, for example. That's only on one platform. That's not a new game that sold more on a single SKU. And if you add the PlayStation 5 version, you know, it sold more. I think it actually sold more because I think it sold 2,000 something. So Donkey Kong Bonanza has already been out for, you know, months now at this point, right? July, August, September. So it's already been out for months. Like, it probably should have done better than the, like, you know, multi-month Donkey Kong Bonanza because it's a brand new game. So, for example, I don't know what this is, but 9 RIP sequel from Idea Factory. The fact that an Idea Factory game outsells a Sonic game, that just I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, this is good for like Idea Factory because they make smaller games, but this is a big, you know, AAA-ish type of Sonic racing game, or almost AAA, whatever you want to call it, right? So, yeah, I don't think that selling worse than whatever 9 RIP sequel is, I'm not sure if that's a good thing in Japan. Also, if you look at Sonic Frontiers, I think did like 40-something thousand units in its debut week, so significantly less than Sonic Frontiers. Although Sonic Frontiers is the big new next game, and this is more of a spin-off Sonic game. But yeah, you want to look at the actual number being sold, because if you only sell 5,000 copies in the first week, what do you think your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth week are going to be? Not very good. The sales don't go up. Usually they go down. So I think that's an issue there. Justin with the dollar dono says, I would have been cool to see Sega did a change up and started out like the old commercial, then change it up to a more like, hey, more like they are both good. Yeah, that, I mean, I guess that defeats the purpose of what they were trying to do, though, right? Kind of like they're trying to like mimic that old commercial. So yeah, this person seems to be confused. Honestly, I don't get it. I always hear Sonic is never successful in Japan, but from whatever I see on the internet, it looks like complete opposite due to the fact that Sega is massive there, yet their own mascot isn't. Yeah, he was created to appeal to the West, but still, okay, he's just kind of coping a little bit. This is the funny part is that apparently this is one of the highest selling Sonic games in Japan. I don't think it is. I don't think 5,000 units or 7,000 units is one of the highest selling Sonic games in Japan. I mean, like I said, Sonic Frontiers was definitely better, and we can look up some of the other games too. Oh my God, that is a very I'm not gonna say that. That's messed up. If any of you guys caught it, you caught it. But I don't endorse that with that comment that person said. A lot of I Show Speed memes. So many I Show Speed memes. Yeah, dude, never mind. Okay, so I want to read this one. So it says, the guys only show the sales of the physical versions and say the game flopped. Folks, the thing stayed in the top 5 of best-selling digital for a long time in Japan. It didn't flop for ish. Stop validating half-blast information. So I can understand why this person's maybe a little bit upset. I mean, I did note that not including digital. So I said it seems to have flopped based off the physical retail, not based off of digital. Digital ratios in Japan are not big. So we're talking about just flopped in Japan. I said flopped in Japan. Not that it flopped overall worldwide, but flopped in Japan. Digital ratios usually are 30% for Japan, maybe 40% if you're lucky on a game like this. So you're looking at a couple extra thousands of sales, which would probably get you up in some top charts for a bit if you're selling, you know, a few thousand here and there. I don't think it was anything super significant based off of what we know from digital ratios in Japan. But once again, I said flopped in Japan, not that it flopped overall, but I don't think it's going to sell anything crazy in Japan. I think it's going to be kind of a flop in Japan. So, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, you know what? Never listen. Okay, here we go. We got another person. Okay, so this one was interesting. I don't understand what this person is trying to say. He says, I feel like there are some disingenuous takes here. One, Mario Kart World has an insane installation rate due to the best Switch 2 deal being the bundle itself plus first-party games. So here's the thing about this. Which I think this person doesn't understand. The Mario Kart World, it does not include the physical. These are physical sales. So these are people that are going out and buying the game in Japan. These are not people that are buying the bundle. Digital sales are not included in this. So I think that he mixed up that the digital, like for example, Mario Kart World, because I said it sold 6 times more. Mario Kart World sold 35,000 copies. This 35,000 copies is not the bundled sales. This is people walking into the store and buying the game for the full price, you know, or for whatever price, you know? So
I'll be the one to say it. Sonic CrossWorlds is mid and Japan knows it.
Shout outs to Juice Man Bond, thank you for the $5. Shout outs to Carlos Hernandez, thank you for the $5 as well. It's mid, okay. Carlos with the 5 says, if you want negative comments, David Jaffe's video on Game Pass is pretty bad. Also, Sonic people really don't understand Sonic. It's not that big in Japan at all. Yeah, exactly. So I just said it flopped in Japan, you know. But shout outs to Carlos. Shout outs to Juice Man Bomb. Thank you guys for the donos, man. Appreciate it. Keeping the hype going. I think we're getting close to a platinum and a half for tonight. Let's go. JoJo Friday in full swing, baby. Let's go. But this Mario Kart World, that's 35,000 units. I was comparing it to the physical copies being sold, not bundled sales. So I think this guy thought that I was comparing it to the overall sales. I wasn't. What I said is that I compared it. I said Mario Kart World sold 6 times more for the week, 35K. And that had nothing to do with bundled sales. It was simply the physical sales being sold in the stores for Mario Kart World. Because they don't count digital, they don't count bundles. They count the bundled sales within the actual sales of the system sales, but they don't count the game, the digital code that comes with that. That doesn't count. It's just the physical copy that's being sold in the store. So yeah. Despite all the promotion they made there, okay, it wasn't enough. So it says, people say Sonic will never be popular in Japan, but I don't know. Honestly, I've heard that that the interest has definitely been growing in comparison to the past. So I just think probably just a slow process, or maybe they underestimate just how unpopular Sonic was. Yeah, maybe. So yeah. Dude, I actually thought this was way worse than what it was. So I'm sorry that it was actually pretty anticlimactic here. A lot of people are just making fun of it. So I don't know. I don't think there's a clip there. I think I got a clip with the first one, but I'm not sure if there's a clip with that one. So JoJo Friday, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate your support. Let's go. We can have a JoJo Friday transition. We can have that just as like a normal thing. Let's go ahead and get these next ones up. We got 11 on the combo board added in. Oh my goodness. Yo, 11 more combos added in. 144 on the overclock. We are only, what is that? We are only 6 combos away from a platinum and a half combo breaker. Play some more Sonic music here. So, yeah, I think if they had a Switch 2 version, it would have definitely done a little bit better. Yeah, Switch 2 version would have done good. Switch 2 version would have definitely done good. I'm going to turn down my volume. My volume's a little bit too high. So, Sonic fans are crazy trying to compete with Mario. They are nothing compared to Mario. Yeah, Sonic's not as popular as Mario, obviously. I'm not surprised about the sales of Sonic Racing in Japan. Mario is much bigger IP. I love Sonic games, but I love Mario Kart World more, and Mario Kart is a better game. There you go. Isn't Sonic Frontiers the only popular Sonic game in Japan? I don't know if it's the only popular Sonic games in Japan. Let's see here. Best selling Sonic games in Japan. Let's take a look. What are the best selling Sonic games in Japan? Okay, Sonic Frontiers was the fastest selling Sonic game in Japan, selling 46,000 units on the Switch and PlayStation in the first week. So, yeah, Sonic's never been that big in Japan. At least nothing recent. So, Sonic Adventure 2 sold well on the Dreamcast and GameCube. Yeah, it did okay, but in terms of Japanese sales, I don't know how well the Japanese sales were for that game. Even in America, Sonic isn't as popular as Mario. I mean, well, Mario's Mario. Nobody's saying that Sonic Racing Frontiers is going to be more popular than Mario. Like, nobody's expecting that. I'm not expecting that. That'd be a crazy expectation, you know? So yeah. That'd be a crazy expectation, in my opinion, at least. So yeah. Let's see here. Sonic 2 on the Dreamcast sold 174,000 copies in its first week in Japan. Did it really? Sonic 2 on the Dreamcast? I'd have to look that up. Let's see here. I was actually closer to buying Mario Kart than Sonic Kart. Closer by Mario Kart than Sonic Kart. I mean, listen, you can play both if you want. Like, that's what I'll say. They both can be good games. And I think they're both gonna be around for a very long time. So yeah. It is possible to play both. I know a lot of people have been pitting these two games against each other so much, but it is possible to play both. You know, it is possible. So yeah. Hope ZA is good. ZA is going to be good. Influencers are playing it right now, and a lot of them say it's pretty good. I think it's going to be like an 8 out of 10. No kart racer will ever be more popular than Mario Kart. Sony tried 3 IPs to try Crash, Mod Nation, and Little Big Planet Racer. Yeah, they all did not end up doing anywhere near as good. CrossWorlds will be dead by New Year's Day. The Sonic fans won't allow CrossWorlds to go away, Juice Man Bond. Like, they won't allow it to go away. Like, there's definitely a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, no! Like, with this, like I said, I'm surprised with how many people were just like actually like taking my side on that one. You know, Justin with the $1 dono says Bandai released a goofy, but it gave me a little laugh video for Digimon. Oh, okay, maybe we'll check that out. I want to check out one more other thing though. And the thing that I want to check out is what King David had to say on Twitter about Nintendo stuff. So I think this just sums up a lot of the I think this just sums up a lot of the Xbox players' frustration. Like, they're so mad, they're lashing out at other people when somebody else cooks you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the classic somebody makes fun of you in class, and then somebody else laughs, and then you lash out at the person that laughs instead of the person that caused the harm to you. That's exactly what this post is. Shout outs to King David. I met him at a Seattle Nintendo Live. I think there was also like a PAX going on. He's a big dude. He seems like a really cool guy. But this post just seems like pure cope. It just seems like he's just so upset. He's just so upset about what happened with Microsoft this week. He just had to. The picture is the funniest thing. It's like he just posts like I don't know, is this picture AI generated of Mario and Luigi? I don't know if this. It's the most random picture. He's like, hey, I'm talking about Nintendo here, you know? So it's just like, yeah, it's the older dude from the Iron Lords podcast. Like, yeah, he's a cool dude. I'm not going to sit here and hate, you know? Dude, but I actually laughed pretty hard at this post. I thought it was funny. It's Nintendo's art. Okay, he just grabbed a random... I mean, like, he could have at least used a game that people feel like is bad value. Like, he could have used, like, Mario Kart World or something like that. Like, he could have just instead of just like a random picture, you know, of like a random art picture that he just Google search for real quick in his anger. But yeah, this one was pretty funny. He goes, you mad at Xbox, but these dudes Nintendo don't give you value and aren't customer friendly, but you say nothing. Thinking face. I don't know where. Listen, shout outs to King. Like I said, King David, he seems like a cool guy. And like, probably back in his day, he probably could have choked me out. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and talk too much. You know, these OGs, like he's an OG. Like I'm an OG, but he's like an OG, like a big bro OG. Like, these type of posts are weird. Like, I don't know what Nintendo had nothing to do with this. But what I don't understand is like, value is subjective, right? You say Nintendo doesn't give you any value. People say nothing. People said something. People complained about Nintendo's value with the Super Mario Galaxy collection. People complained about the game key cards and the value of those. People complained about drop the price of the system. People complained about lots of stuff, about $80 Mario Kart, right? People complained about all sorts of things. So I have no idea what he's thinking outside of just really kind of just coping that Xbox just cooked him with this value thing and people are angry. So yeah. But I want to kind of talk about it a little bit more, you know, because I think that when it comes to value, everybody values things differently, right? People value things differently. And I said that here. I just kind of gave him some examples of what I just said. But everybody values things very differently. In my opinion, value is consistent flow of first-party games from a console manufacturer. That is my definition of value. A consistent flow of quality first-party games and good amount of third-party support. Good enough. That is my minimum standard of value or quality. I get value in them providing great games for me to play to justify the need to buy the system. Now, yes, value in terms of subscription services is a different type of value. So you can say NSO value. Now, do I value NSO a lot? No, not really. But I don't really value any subscription service a lot. I'm not a huge fan of subscription services, okay? But the value that you do get with NSO, which I don't think he even knows what you get with NSO, the first tier or the second expansion pack. I don't think he even knows. But the value, like we went over it, the value that you do get for $50 a year is significantly better than anything Nintendo's ever offered in the history of Nintendo when it comes to classic console or classic games. Like anything really. They've never done a subscription service. This was their first time doing it. And at this point, I think that you can say safely that Expansion Pass gives you enough value when it comes to, you get like, you know, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom upgrade packs. I wish they'd add some more in there, but whatever. You know, you get the DLC for Mario Kart, you get the booster course, you get that. I think you get Splatoon's DLC, you get Animal Crossing DLC, plus you just get a host. You get GameCube games on the Switch 2, you get Game Boy Advance, you get Genesis, you just get all these platforms and multiple games. It's like literally like hundreds of games, right? That you get all with online play built in. So I think that's actually pretty decent value for 50. And if you go with 20, that's a year. 20 a year gets you online play plus a number of systems. I think that's okay. I don't think that's too bad, right? In terms of value. So I think that he just doesn't understand, or he doesn't know. He doesn't play Nintendo games at all. He just hears what people say online, and I think that's why he's saying that. But I mean, there are people that are like this, you know. But I think that for me, the value of a system comes from the strength of its exclusives. Like, I value my Switch 1. I value my Nintendo Wii U more than I probably value Xbox at this point, because there's not a lot of exclusives, you know, in terms of what they do exclusively for the platform to justify it. Because like, if I like my PS5 more, and if they put their games on PS5, I'll probably just buy them on PS5. Now, yes, I like to own my games. I like to actually have them, whether they're downloaded on my hard drive or whether they're, you know, whatever, physical cartridge. I like to actually have them. I don't like to be beholden to a monthly subscription to play my biggest games, because there's sometimes where I'll buy a game, right? Like, I'll buy Mario Galaxy and I might not even play it right away, or I'll buy a game and I might not play it right away. So I don't need to play a game right away, like right when it comes out. So like when you have Game Pass and all that, it feels like you're paying a monthly sub, so you have to consistently be like, okay, I gotta play this, I gotta use it. So yes, it's great value, and I think that even after the price increase, like, it's still, like, if you look at what they're offering, and if you're a hardcore Xbox fan, there's still definitely some good value in there. But I mean, at the price of like the highest tier, I mean, that's $360 a year. You can buy, you know, 4 to 5 big AAA games, right? And I think that those games can be fun. Those games can, like, you can actually own them, you know? So what do you value more? Do you value owning or renting the game more. And I value the ownership of the game more. So I think that value is subjective when it comes down to it. But I mean, I see what he's saying. Like, you know, there's a lot of, I mean, obviously Nintendo gets a lot of publicity. It's easy to just say, what about Nintendo? But the thing about it is that people have been complaining and have been making videos and have been upset and angry as well when it comes down to that too. So yeah, I just thought it was a funny post. I want to read the quote tweets on there. I want to read the quote tweets. View quote tweets. We should look over the quote tweets. Like, what did I do? That's definitely Nintendo's like, what? What did I do? Clabby with the $5 dono. Shout out to Clabby. Oh my god, we're like one away. I think we're one away from a platinum and a half. Let's go, guys. I watched the Iron Lords TGS stream and they ran into Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond and they were acting like they met Jesus. Yeah, they definitely be, you know, they be hamming it up a little bit. I'll keep it a buck though, man. If I was ever to run into Miyamoto, I'd probably be like, yo, I don't know if I'd be acting like I met Jesus, but I'd definitely be like, oh man, it's Miyamoto, you know? I did see Miyamoto once though. I did see him. I was like 10 yards away from him at E3 2014. Behind Nintendo's stage show, they had Miyamoto was playing Splatoon with children. Like there were children that got like a VIP children section for them to be able to play the Wii U and play stuff. And Miyamoto was, you know, playing the game and showing them the game. And there was this big old bodyguard that was standing like saying, and I was like, hey, what's that? And he's like, mm-mm. I'm like, oh, I just asked what it was. He just said, he was just shaking his head. This guy was like 6'4", big old dude. And he was just like, he was just shaking his head. Nope, don't you dare. I'm gonna chill. I've never told this story. Have I told this story? Yeah, anyway, Miyamoto was right there playing with the kids, playing Splatoon, showing the kids the games. And yeah, that bodyguard, when I looked, because I was like, oh, what's that? And I just said, oh, what's that? Because I saw Miyamoto. I was like, oh, what's that? I just asked a question. And that guy was just looking at me like, you better not take another step. You take another step, I'm gonna choke you out. So I was like, I think I'll just go away. I said, I think I'll just step back from this one. I don't think I'll take a step further. I did see Reggie one time. Reggie was walking, and I think he was doing like an interview on the show floor, and I did see Reggie. I was like, oh, it's the Reginator. This guy says, sorry people, I'm sorry, people complain about Nintendo constantly, like literally non-stop. Don't be stupid. How to tell someone hasn't been on the internet other than checking R34 every 2 hours. But what about Nintendo? LOL, pathetic. Juice Man Vaughn with the hammer. This guy says facts. I don't know if this is facts. I'm not sure if this is facts. Nintendo charges 20 to 50 a year. Personally, it offers way more value at 20 than anything Xbox and PlayStation offered. I think, yeah, the $20 for all those classic games that you get is actually not bad value. So, it says, bro thinks Nintendo gets no criticism. LMFAO. Find a better excuse. He really tried to shift the heat away from Nintendo. Shift the heat away to Nintendo. If I can read today. Somehow all this Xbox Game Pass discussion has brought the but Nintendo replies. Nope, they ate them for $80 plus games up with no problems. This man said, Max said this. Alright, that's interesting. Shout outs to Clabby, thank you for the $5. Oh, actually, no, we are at 150 overclocks. Let's go. We actually hit the goal. Let's get it, man. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. So now that's a combo breaker. And Further Than Beyond. And of course, Cloud Strife comes shattering through. I'd love to meet any of those people, big names in the industry, Sony, Microsoft, whatever. I just thought it'd be funny. Oh, yeah. So the picture juxtaposed to the tweet. Yeah, the picture's just hilarious. It's like you think that he put something that'd be like, you know, like no value. Like put like NSO. Or put like, you know, Mario Kart. Or put like like Skyward Sword, like full price remaster. Like put something, but he just put a picture of Mario and Luigi like saying hi, like just happy walking. This is definitely cope, man. This is definitely some like super cope going on here, you know? So yeah. All right, that's enough Sonic music. That's enough Sonic music. We listen to enough Sonic music. We out here tonight. All right, I think I got this right here. So, are you excited for Mina the Hall at the end of the month? Should be interesting seeing the game run at 120 FPS. Yeah, I mean, I have the demo. I can run it at 120 FPS right now. At this point, so yeah. Am I interested? Oh, absolutely, because it's Celia's game, so I'm looking forward to it. Party Man says, I stepped away. What did I miss? We were talking about King David. He blamed Xbox. He's like a big hardcore Xbox guy. He blamed. He's saying that, oh man, like Xbox is getting all this heat, but Nintendo doesn't provide anything of value, and they're not consumer friendly. They're not from someone who doesn't even buy their games or doesn't even play them or anything. So Mario Kart World music to make people upset. All right, there you go. I got you, Party Man. Thank you for the support earlier. Mario Kart World. Are you? But yes. Sup, OJ? I got 2 days off, but I'm getting Galaxy 1 and 2 tomorrow. Nice, Max. Yeah, I got Galaxy myself. It's great. Well, once I get to playing it, it's gonna be great, you know. So yeah. Egg Planet from Super Mario Galaxy. Let's go. He could have done some crappy AI Mario being angry. Yeah, that's usually what they do. That's usually what a lot of people do now. They just use AI to make Mario angry, or like act like he killed, or like he just got done like with a murder scene or something like that. It's just crazy. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was really funny. Overall. I think they made the demo unplayable after a certain date for a few weeks. I think it's no longer available to download, right? But if you have it downloaded, you can still play. The whole Mario Kart World versus Sonic Racing CrossWorlds back and forth was so silly. Yeah, it was pretty silly. It's kind of like stupid, but it's like whatever, you know. People are gonna be people. People are gonna people. Oh man, dude, 3 hours has went by just like that. Are you kidding me? We've been going for 2 hours and 56 minutes already. Oh my goodness! Wow. Okay. Shoutouts, guys. Shoutouts to us. We actually hit the platinum and a half. I didn't think we would. We went further beyond tonight, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Seriously. Oh man, that was wild. That was wild. Let's go. I did have a video today, so if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. It's a pretty cool video talking about how the Switch 2 breaks new ground with developers. Developers are super excited for it as well. So check out my video. If you have not seen my video yet, check out my video. It is a banger of a video. I'm gonna link it 3 times for those who maybe miss it. So thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream today, man. I appreciate you guys. Holy smokes, like I said, time flies. Goodness gracious, time flies when you're having fun. We're gonna be back tomorrow. I'm just gonna do like my little post thing to end out. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Also, a couple quick YouTube things. Like I said, I am revamping. Like I said, I'm getting the room ready, so there's that. But also, if you haven't noticed, we had a new banner at the top of the page on our YouTube page. I thought it was pretty cool. So if you haven't seen it yet, check out the new banner. I thought it looks good. I thought it looked pretty good. So I took a lot of time to make it. It wasn't anything super crazy, but picking the franchises and picking which one that I wanted to do, that was kind of difficult. Because I was like, okay, we need a mix of like old and new games. Like we need a mix of like, we need Xenoblade, we need Fire Emblem, we need Metroid, we need Mario, we need Smash Brothers, we need RPG, we need like another like third-party RPG that I'm into. We need, you know, Zelda. So I think I picked a pretty good array of different games. So yeah, we got a new banner. We went back to the old logo, the old Player Essence logo. I love this logo. I forgot who made this logo for me, but I love this logo. I think it's dope. So yeah, it's a pretty cool banner. I think it's cool. We also have our Twitter banner. I think our Twitter banner, yeah, I just zoomed it in a little bit because it looks weird if you don't zoom it in. So our Twitter banner is also the same thing. And I think it captures kind of what I like a lot. Smash Brothers, Mario, Metroid, Zelda, You know, there's no Xeno in this one, but you guys know I love Xeno. You guys know I love Fire Emblem too. So we got Metaphor Refantasio. It's like Metaphor Refantasio is like Xenoblade and Fire Emblem mixed together. The guy looks like Marth, so that's like Fire Emblem. You know, but there's some Xenoblade aspects to it as well when it comes to the story and all that. So there you go. It kind of mixes it together. But anyway, yeah. So we got a new banner. We are going to be doing, like I said, we are going to be doing a room situation. I'm getting my room put together. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So you guys can look out for that. Look out for that overall. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, ton of cool stuff that's happening. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Let me know that it's streaming, or let me know that you like the streams. I do want to read off this one more thing though. This is breaking. Xbox lost over 300 million in Call of Duty sales by 2024 by putting Black Ops 6 on Xbox Game Pass, Bloomberg reports. Call of Duty's lost sales is one of the key reasons why Game Pass price has increased. Oh man, it's almost like I told you guys, on the Spawncast, like I told you guys before, you can't just give away games. You can't just, Call of Duty is incredibly expensive to produce. You can't just give away Call of Duty and give away Fallout and give away Overwatch and give away, you can't just give away everything, or you can't just have it to where it's on some type of tiny, like $10 or $15 or even, you can't, they're gonna have to raise the price. I called this and I called this multiple times. But basically the lost sales from actually selling the game, like they're basing it on how many people maybe did downloads that would have bought the game. So I mean, listen, I'm all down for consumers getting better deals and for all of that, but I mean, like I said, I think that we can all sit here and say that this Game Pass thing, if Microsoft could go back in time, they probably wouldn't do it. They'd probably just double down on just investing in getting like Halo, Fable, and Gears better or something like that. Like they'd probably just do that because this has been a disaster somewhat. So this has been a disaster, man. This has been a disaster. So yeah. So it was all good. Day one was kind of a bad idea. Yeah, that's why they removed day one. They removed day one from like every tier. It's like only the highest tier is day one. So yeah, they made some mistakes. Mistakes were made, but hey, it is what it is. All right, guys. Once again, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for coming out for tonight's stream. We're gonna be back tomorrow with the Spawncast pre-show. Whoop whoop the whoop the whoop the whoop the whoop the whoop the woo. Shout outs, guys. Appreciate y'all. All right. Thank you so much. Shout outs. Love you guys. We'll be back. Make sure you watch my most recent video. Go watch it. Go watch my most recent video. If you don't, then I'm gonna punch you like One Punch Man, Alfred Collins. I'm gonna punch you like he punched Kyron Williams in the face to cause a fumble. No, I'm joking. Shout outs, guys. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Combo breaks. Thank you guys for the donos. Big love to Joe 9K. Big love to Gloria. Big love to everybody that dropped donos tonight. Shaw X. JoJo boys in the house. Appreciate that. All right, go. All right, no. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.